Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Edgar Mendez, and I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing time and space with me. I am a little bit sick, so just so you all know, I had to take 2 days off, 2.5, and recuperate and all that good stuff. But yeah, I got sick. I didn't plan for it, so it was real annoying. And yeah, today we're gonna be focusing on your April reading. So I was thinking we are gonna do April predictions, but Kuan Yin, Saint Germain, and Metatron had other ideas. So it's basically advice, suggestions, and um guidance essentially. So it's a really interesting reading. I do recommend you check out your entire chart, your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus, especially your north node. I also want to remind you to like and comment, and especially watching your entire chart though, that view duration really does wonders for my channel. I'm not joking, it really does. Okay, and yeah, let's see. Oh, I also wanted to remind you all that I do have distant traveling April 1st. If you are interested in that, you can check it out on my Calendly link. It's at the bottom. It's a free service if you are interested in doing that. But we do distant traveling, universal traveling, and we do different stuff each month. It's once a month thing. So if you are interested in getting that, I highly recommend you check it out. And um, it's distant traveling is actually quite dangerous, but you'll be going with me, so you'll be safe. So just keep that in mind if that does pique your interest. And yeah, I'm happy you're here. I really am happy you're here. Yeah, and today's it's April readings anyway. Thank you everyone, and take care. And I'm gonna start off with Aries, and we're gonna go all the way down to Pisces. Hi, Aries. Welcome to my channel. My name is Edgar Mendez. I'm a little bit sick. Just so you all know, if I sound a little bit different, it's just that it was a flu, but I got over it quite quickly. But yes, that's kind of what my voice is the way it is. And today we're going to be focusing on getting the April predictions. So I highly recommend you check out your entire chart, and please don't forget to like and comment. That does help me out a lot. And yeah, I also have a lot of services I offer as well. So let's hop right to it. All right, so let's see. For Aries energy, like what are the I don't know. You're my first reading, but I think I want to do whatever comes out comes out. So Metatron, Kuan Yin, Saint Germain, what do you have to say about Aries? Like, what do you want to say to Aries? The immediate message I got was Aries. April won't be like March. And that is really, really important. I feel like you're kind of looking for a break, or you're looking to make some kind of progress. And an area of life, it's not come easy. And they're not really saying like it's character building. They're not saying that. They're not really saying like, oh, it's divine timing. Not saying that. Although divine timing doesn't mean that. But they're not saying these things. They're just saying April's gonna be different. I do feel it's the start of a really big arc for you. I know it's so strange that they would give that, but they're saying like April is the beginning of a really big arc. They're gonna go up, and it'll come down obviously because that's how arcs go. But they're saying that you're on the cusp, and that's an important word for them. Towards a really big expansive new cycle. And that's kind of where they want to like they just wanted to give that like I feel like it's kind of like that uplifting message that you need, but it's important that you keep putting one foot in front of the other, or you won't make it. You won't have the arc, right? If you're staying put, but they just have that message for you. Let's see, what else do you have for Aries? All right, it feels like you are really trying to figure out what you should do. I definitely feel like you're focusing on all areas of your life. I want to say career is what came to my mind the first thing, but I also feel like love as well. Or you're looking about what's next, what to do, how to go about that. You have really big dreams and aspirations for a better life for yourself, right? And they really want to emphasize that that is not impossible. In fact, it's so possible you will be shocked at how likely you can get that. But you're at this approach, right, where you're looking, how do I get what I desire? How do I find that? How do I achieve that? What's the path towards that? And the path doesn't look like it's not one dimensional. It's not the same for everyone. And I feel like a lot of you, whether that is a conscious or subconscious thing, you're kind of looking for I feel like a rubric, right? When in fact you need to understand that everything it's determined by your own energy. But no, they don't want to say that. They're saying that everything is unique, right? That Your experience is going to be unique. How you go about achieving success will be unique. Sorry about that. I had to cough. I didn't want to cough on camera, but they're saying that you're kind of looking for this rubric on success, and this is actually one of the harder things I had a trouble with releasing. I think a lot of people do because we are conditioned right from childhood to learn from our adults that are around us, but they know pretty much nothing, and teachers and stuff like that, right? So we're kind of learned or conditioned to learn how to become what we desire from others. So it is a I think this is more subconscious than conscious, but I actually think that it is in some ways conscious. You're looking for a roadmap. There's one doesn't exist, and the entire point is that it would be boring. It would be boring to follow this checklist, and I know that we know that, and I know that we understand that. But they're saying that you're at this point, this pivotal point in your life where you're trying to figure out what's next. How do I get to what I desire? You're conscious enough to know, right? That you don't want more suffering, you don't want lackluster, you don't want blasé, you want the real deal. And they're emphasizing this fact, right? That you're not gonna get it from anyone else. No one else has that answer for you. The only person that has that answer is your own heart. And the only way to figure out what that path even looks like is to take the necessary steps. And again, that's where they brought up that very first piece, right? Where it's like, it's gonna be so different in April than it has been in March, and the entire point is to get you to put one foot in front of the other, and that is key because if you're not happy where you are, you have to move. You have to take one foot in front of the other, and though it can sometimes get dark and bleak and look like it's never gonna end in terms of turmoil, but it always does, right? And they really want to emphasize not to give up. And also not to be looking for a roadmap. No one got it. No one, not even me. I don't even have that for you. And like if there were one person in this world that would have it, it would be me, but I don't even have it. And the only way you can go about this is taking one foot in front of the other. They want you to use the reason why you're doing it because I feel like let's say you have oh, I don't know how to phrase this. It's like they're saying that you need a really good reason why you are putting one foot in front of the other. And they also want you to reflect on what that reason that motivates you, that gets you out of bed is. It's nice to have that dream and stuff like that, right? But in reality, in my experience, the only thing that's really worked for me, that has worked consistently and never failed, was when I chose myself, right? So I don't know what you're choosing exactly, but make sure that it is in alignment with something that's going to keep going. They're calling it like an eternal flame. Right? That's what they're referring to it as. Like it's an eternal flame, something that even in your darkest times, you will have this flame burning, and you will be able to see somewhat of the way. And they're really emphasizing that as well. I'm not saying I see dark periods coming up just yet, right? But there will always be those inevitably, right? And the only way is through those dark periods. And the only way you're going to make it through by putting one foot in front of the other is by having a good enough reason to keep going. And they really want you, that's actually where they're zeroing in on. Is there anything else on that that you have? I'm like, hope that the sounds fine. Anyway, okay, let's see. They kind of want to switch gears a little bit. They want to touch upon, I feel, your, I don't know if it's desire, but, or I don't know, maybe you have doubt about yourself and your capabilities, but it feels like you are trying to gain knowledge from other people, places, and things. And this is actually, there's a core wound, obviously, there to do with doubts, self worth. I feel like you tend to compare yourself, and there is a proper way to compare yourself to someone else, right? You see someone doing this really magical thing. Oh, I want to do it. Then you go ahead and you figure out how to do it, right? But you don't look at what they're doing and think, "Oh my God, I'm so I'm so behind," or I'm I can't believe that I would never have that. That's the wrong way, right? The right way is, and like, you know what? I want to do that. Let me figure that out, right? Let me take the steps there. But they're saying that a lot of you are trying to gain a lot of knowledge from someone or people, and it's not helping you. It appears like it could be at times because maybe it sparks your interest, maybe it leads you to something else, but this is like they're saying it's like the long way around. You're spiraling, and you should be headed, like, you shouldn't be spiraling, like you're it's It's burning rubber, right? They're showing me like a car spinning when a car should be going straight, right? And they're saying that the only way you're gonna know how to go straight is for you to follow your heart and your own internal guidance and the beings of light that are working closely with you, not some random person or random thing or a book. And I understand how crazy that can be, right? Saying, "Oh, hey, you have all the answers within you." I know how crazy that is, but it's the truth. It really is the truth, by the way. But they're saying you're going to make progress faster by following your own internal guidance, not so much someone else. There are times when someone comes in and gives us that truth, right? But we're not meant to cling on to everything they say. We're meant to just take that truth that we know we were meant to hear at that present moment and make strides, but we're not meant to use them, right? As a they're calling it like a substitute teacher, right? You're not meant to use it like that. You're meant to become your own person you're learning from and teaching and all that stuff, right? You're meant to do it that way. You're meant to, they're calling it self sufficiency, right? That's what they're referring to it as. Is there any guidance that you have for Aries? They're referencing what they brought up about keep going. This is interesting. They wanted me to suggest to you something that will help you see when you're at those dark periods. And one of the best things that I use, and not everyone gets this, but you can call them in, by the way. I use an ancestor where they light the way for some pieces of my path. Like I have no idea what to do. I'm stuck and it's like, oh my God, how do I get out of this? And an ancestor will come in and they will light the way a little bit. That's actually one of the biggest reasons why we're so connected to them, right? Our cousins, our brothers, our sisters, our moms, our dads, right? Um, I guess I don't know. I don't think it's old lovers, but maybe that too. But it's they're saying use. Actually, I'm saying that's what they said to suggest something. I'm saying for you to use. Call in an ancestor and tell them, "Can I get some help here? What am I not seeing? Help me see what I'm missing." And that's gonna help really propel you when you are they're saying like when you're in complete darkness, all right? And I'm not sure how often you're entering those stages, but I feel you're gonna be hitting them randomly. Actually I normally do, right? But they're saying to use I'm saying to use your ancestor. Let's see, what other guidance do you have for Aries viewers? This has to do with productivity. They're referencing you're not as productive as you can be. And a lot of people can say this, right? It's not that we should work all the time. However, there are things you're doing that are a complete waste of time, and there are things that you can do that can be really productive. And they're asking you to reflect on some of these things. The air is coming out because it's important. They're saying for you to cut some things out and incorporate some things that you know will be helpful for you. I did like a private reading for someone, and one of the things that came through from that person's higher self, right? Because I was, talking to the higher self, giving them what the actually the answers they were looking for from their own higher self, which is funny in and of itself. But the higher self was like, you need to dedicate some time to your healing every day, like 20 minutes. And I know that seems so insignificant, right? 20 minutes a day you heal, or 20 minutes a day you work on some kind of business you want to start up. I know that it seems like it's a small piece. You end up going a little beyond it because you spark that creativity and you're going to want to put more energy into it. I know that's how it happens for me. However, they're saying don't underestimate how impactful dedicating just 20 minutes of your time a day, right, to a project that you want is. And all of us can spare 20 minutes. We all can. That is so easy, right? Watch a little bit less TV. Um, I don't know what like scroll less on your phone, right? You know what I mean? Like it's really really important that you dedicate. If you want to make progress on this goal of yours, and it feels like you have really big ambitions that are so possible, right? In fact, they're so probable if you were to take the steps necessary to get yourself there. So probable. It's like they're saying that you are it's almost guaranteed, right? It's what they're saying. It's almost guaranteed, right? For you to get there if you were to take those steps every single day. And think of what 20 minutes a day over an entire year is in terms of how many days. You know what I mean, right? And normally you will go over. I think of that like how much productivity that is, right? On a goal that can really make you money, or a goal that can really make you happy, right? So they're saying for you to be more productive with your time and learn to cut something out that you don't need, right? you don't need, and it's probably not making you feel that great as well. Um, but I'm gonna leave it there, Aries. I want to keep the reading short because my voice. But I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing time and space with me. And again, I want to remind you to watch that entire chart. Um, Kuan Yin, Saint Germain, Metatron, they actually they got really good at this, by the way. For all the signs. So just take my word for it, especially your North Node. Please don't forget to like and comment and check out my services and take care. Bye, Aries. Hi, Taurus. Welcome to my channel. My name is Edgar Mendez, and I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for sharing time and space with me. I want to remind you all that I do have a little bit of I actually had the flu, a 2-day flu, by the way. I had a lot of help getting over this with the beans of light, but yes, I had a 2-day flu, so my voice is still recovering. Anyway, I also want to remind you all to watch that entire chart, that sun, that moon, that rising, that Venus, and especially your North Node. Kuan Yin, Saint Germain, and Metatron have gotten really good at getting a piece, all right, for your chart. Like every piece of your chart has something for you. They're close. They're so close at getting this perfection. So it is what it is. Yeah. I also want to remind you to like and comment. I don't know if I said that, and I also have a lot of services I offer. If you want to check that out as well. So let's take a look here. Um, Taurus. Oh, what we're focusing on is April. That's why I was pulling you. I was like, "What's the topic?" It's April. It's April. April predictions. All right. Let's look at April for Taurus. What is Taurus gonna expect, or what do you want to say? Um, Kuan Yin is stepping forward for you. I feel the April is going to be a big month of burning bridges towards people who do not appreciate us for us. And I say us in terms of like all of us have these connections in our life that don't truly understand how big of a deal it is to have us in their life. Does that make sense? Help it. Either this is your reading or it's not, but it's that where you know that these people in your life, and it feels like it's specifically people, could be places as well, like work and stuff like that. Um, they don't appreciate you. No, they don't see you either. They don't get you. It's not a misunderstood type of thing, though. It's not. It's not misunderstood. It's you've grown, you've changed, you've evolved, and it's not that they. It's like they never saw anything anyway. It just is what it is. I feel like these people, places, and things never took the time to get to know you or ever took the time to even appreciate you. And it feels like you've kind of had enough with that. I do feel there's been a lot of healing done internally for you to have come to that conclusion, because we don't remove people that are teaching us lessons, right, from our life until we learn the lesson. That's the point. But it feels like you're so close to that, where you're so sick of these individuals. Some of you, this could be like, it feels like these are people that are holding on to you, hanging on to you. It feels like you feel used at times as well with them, because they just take and take, to the point of it's like, I don't know, it's like I've had enough here. Some of you, just could be kids as well. It just feels, and not that you're gonna kick the kid out, but you are gonna put up that boundary where you're gonna learn to put me first. But I feel for most of you this is like connection, like actual connection, where it's like, no more am I going to be taken for granted. No more am I going to let someone not appreciate what I bring to the table, because I finally appreciate what I bring to the table. Does that make sense? So it feels like you're going through this metamorphosis here where you're learning to love yourself, appreciate yourself, and put yourself first. And it's going to have you re-examining your dynamics with people, places, and things in your life, because the new you doesn't have a bunch of these things that the old version of you did, right, in their life. So this is you kind of burning bridges. So that's going to be a really, really important theme for you in the month of April. Um, um, some of these days will be easier than others. Like there's no, Metatron's bringing up loyalties at times, right? Or you think that you need to be loyal. There's some, it's not. It's most of these things there isn't that loyalty there, but for some of them there is, and they're really. Metatron's really bringing that up right now because that's important for you to know. Know that even though there could be loyalties there, it's the same rule applies, right? Don't like throw the loyalty out the way. Follow your heart, and you know what to do. Point blank, right? It's actually just said period. Period. All right. Is there anything else that you want to say on that? They said that pretty much covers it. They want more stuff. Okay. So what else will Taurus be dealing with in April? I feel like you're going to be receiving a lot of abundance as well. This it's interesting. They're referring to something that not a lot of people understand about how universe works. Universe will constantly bring us stuff, right? We ask for more money, for instance, right? Um, and then we receive money, and then we take it, right? Let's say you are looking for a job, right? And you receive this job that's not paying what you want. It's not what you were looking for, but you are in a lack mindset and you just take it. So universe looks at that and thinks, okay, they asked for a job, they took that job, so that's the one they must want, right? A universe doesn't think, it just does, right? I feel that what they're telling me is that you are no longer in that lack mindset. You're not saying yes to things that don't bring you the kind of abundance that you're looking for. In fact, you are very much looking for the epitome of abundance right now. And I see prosperity headed your way. It's interesting. I don't know what's happening in the middle of April, but I got the same energy for Aries as well. In the middle of April, it feels like you're gonna have this. You're just starting on this really big peak, or actually the beginning of what will be a peak, right? Of a lot of prosperity headed your way, and it's because you're learning to say no to things that aren't enough. It's like you want a relationship, right? And then you find someone and they're not what you were looking for, but you have a need within you, so you take it, right? Yeah, you're not doing that anymore. I'm not saying that was it, but you get where I'm going with that, right? It's like universe is looking at trying to fulfill what you're asking for, and the fact that you're saying no to what you're not looking for is why universe is bringing you what you want, what you actually want, what you actually ask for. And that's like a really big thing. It's a really big thing that you are learning to conquer, and you're coming at this from a really, really sovereign place, a place that isn't of lack, right? As part of it. But it's trust. Ah, yes, yes, duh, trust, and it's not just trust in the process, though that is obviously there. Um, it's trust in yourself that you are worthy enough to have more. Yeah, it's so interesting. It's some juicy stuff right there. And you're looking at your life, and it's with the shedding of all the nasty, low vibrational stuff, and saying no to no more low vibrational stuff. You are on a steep incline, is what they're saying. Wow. Okay. Wow. That's a big, big thing. But let's see what else is here for Taurus. They're saying for you to focus on the parts of you that want to say yes to things that are not in alignment. So, although consciously you're not going to say yes, that feeling that you should say yes is going to come up, right? It's coming from the subconscious, maybe the ego. It's telling you to reflect on that and start to heal that. They're giving me a specific message about you accessing your higher self, to have your higher self help you discern what's bringing this about so you can fix it. So they're really emphasizing, you know, you have these feelings a little bit, right? So deal with it and you won't regress. And I think it's the most important thing right now, because it's important that you don't regress. You don't regress back into that lack mindset. You don't regress back into that um, faithless energy, right? You want to embody that energy where you know that you can have what you deserve, because that's how you're going to get it, right? That belief fueling you. But there are parts of you just, and they're saying it's like, it's like you when you rub crumbs in your hand. I know it's so strange, but that's what they're doing. It's like there's just little sprinkles here and there. That's all you gotta do. You just gotta just make sure you deal with it. Basically, is what they're saying, because then you can get rid of all of that. I also have, if you are interested, I have poverty contract, fear contract as well. I also have a love contract. I'm gonna release that. If I haven't released it now, when I release this video, I'll release it soon. But I have those things if you are looking for that. Trust, those are powerful guided meditations that I've created. Um, Trust me. Follow your heart. Obviously, I see. Don't trust me. Don't trust me. Follow your heart, and you'll know if you should get that. They're cheap, by the way, too. Um, but they're kind of referencing that a little bit. And that will release anything residual, essentially, of lack, right? The poverty lack one. Anyway, is there any last thing that you have for Taurus? They want to acknowledge the work that you've done on yourself. They want to acknowledge the progress that you've made. I feel like you have a little bit of an issue here about acknowledging the progress that you've made, because you have destination fever. And they're showing me like a vision of you in a car, and it's like you're hitting all these milestones. It's like it is. I don't drive, but it's like they're showing me this highway, and you know how it says like you're here, you're here, you're here. It doesn't make sense like you've made it this far, or so and so is this many miles away. You know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about. It's like I don't know. Imagine if you drive, but they're showing me this and they're saying you made so much progress, and I don't think that you're appreciating that. You learning to appreciate the progress you make will help amplify even more gratitude coming into your life to they're saying gratitude begets gratitude, right? They're saying prosperity begets prosperity. They're saying that having some of that grow, you get a lot more of it. Does that make sense? It like doubles is what they're saying. They're saying learn to have appreciation and gratitude for the progress that you have made, even if it's they're saying like a minute will be enough, a day to help really, really, really bring in more of that. So they're really emphasizing that. That's interesting. That they're really emphasizing at least dedicate a minute to this. 3 would probably be optimal is what they're saying, but at least a minute of gratitude where you look at, damn, I got this far. Oh my god! Like I remember when I set this goal a year ago, and I'm here now. Like, and it doesn't feel like that much of an accomplishment when you finally make it because you are the kind of person that can have that, right? You're the kind of person that can achieve it. But in reality, you weren't at one point, right? So it's important that you understand how big of a deal it is when you make these accomplishments and you have these successes. And even though they might be small or appear small currently, they weren't before. And they really want to emphasize a need for you to cultivate the energy of gratitude um, going forward because that's going to help your life. They're saying it's going to help with the cornucopia. All right. Is there anything else that you have for Taurus? Do you want to switch to your guidance as well, Taurus? Um, I don't know if this is writing down ideas. They're not being clear about this, or if this is scripting, right? That manifestation with scripting. I feel like it could be either or both. It kind of feels like it's that. They want you to write more of your ideas down, more of like, or maybe when you're, if you have an idea that you want to bring to like, you want to manifest, script it. They're saying, in my experience, I've never scripted, but they gave it to me when I was doing some readings, and scripting helps your mind stay focused on what you're trying to manifest, and you won't gravitate into the lack parts of yourself. Does that make sense? So it's a really good way to manifest if you haven't fully healed your subconscious, which is why they brought up that poverty and lack contract, because that resets your subconscious completely after 14 days. But they're bringing that up. It's really important for you, scripting to manifest what you want, or write down the ideas that you're getting and then start to manifest them through the scripting, basically. Okay, so they really are emphasizing that one. Okay, they are bringing up a stone for you as well, a really important stone. They're saying tiger's eye would be helpful. Septarian dragonstone as well. um I feel, because I don't know, it could be a subconscious belief system, but they're referencing green aventurine as well, right? Luck and prosperity, obviously. But they reference green aventurine though for you keeping your heart open. And I feel, I know that sometimes it's like, I know when I'm watching movies and stuff like that, you see people, it's just like with sheer determination, they overcome an obstacle, right? Or anger or rage, or protection. They are able to overcome their adversaries, right? That's not how it actually works. It works best, we're at our peak power when our hearts are open and when we are loving unconditionally and compassionately. I know that in movies it's because of the way humans are, or the way that I see humans think. For some reason, they think it's that it's coming from the head is the best place. No, 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 no. Then they're emphasizing to make sure you keep your heart open to the experience. The more your heart is open, the more love you exude, the more happiness you embody, the more powerful you are. They really want that to just like drill that in. And I feel like you are stepping out of an energy where you were embodying all that love, because you're going after your dreams now. But the message here is don't lose that. Don't lose the love. In fact, bring it with you. And they really want to emphasize that one, okay? Bring the love with you, because that's how you're going to have even more success. That's the point. And again, we're at our peak power when our hearts are open, when we are loving properly, when we are having compassion for people as well, right? We're able to forgive easily. We don't have to deal with the karmic cycles of down spiraling, right? When we forgive, because karma changed. So it's important that if you really want to make progress, and they were giving me chills everywhere, to love, really love, and open that heart up. All right, that's where your strength is. That's what they're saying. That's where your strength is. It was never not there. All right. And I know that sometimes because of the people you're leaving behind, you might try to shut your heart down to do this. No, no, no. Open it up and watch your heart grow to become what it needs to become, to be able to hold space for those individuals while simultaneously holding space for yourself and moving forward. Trust me, that's how hearts expand, right? It doesn't expand by closing them down and pretending like we don't feel anything, okay? So they're really emphasizing that. And again, they're bringing up that loyalty issue again. I'm gonna leave it there. Taurus, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing time and space with me. Please don't forget to like and comment. Don't forget to watch your entire chart as well. And yeah, and take care. Bye, Taurus. Hi, Gemini. Welcome to my channel. My name is Edgar Mendez, and I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for sharing time and space with me. I want to remind you all I am a little sick still. I had a flu, so I am persevering because I wanted to get this reading out for April, and I want to thank you again for being here. And don't forget to watch that entire chart, that sun, that moon, that rising, that Venus, and especially your North Node. Kuan Yin, Saint Germain, and Metatron have gotten real good at putting aspects or messages in every part of your chart. So they've got real good. It's been real interesting anyway. But yes. And today we're going to be focusing on April. April predictions for Gemini. So let's get started here, Gemini. April predictions for Gemini. What does Gemini need to deal with? I feel you're going to have deja vu, or it's like feelings of nostalgicness coming through. I'm not sure what this is referring to, because the first thing that came to my mind was a person, like a person coming back, or you're gonna see someone you haven't seen in a while. Could be childhood friend, something like that. It could be old family members you've been in disconnect. I don't know. It sounds so crazy. But that's the first thing I got. Then it went to actual memories. So I feel like the month of April is gonna be very much you sorting out some past issues and healing from that once and for all. I am seeing you setting yourself free from stuff. Um, I'm gonna see where they want to go with this, but I do feel that you're setting yourself free. What they said was you're jettison. I don't know what that means, but they said that. So what they gave me. What do you have to say about Gemini for April? Oh, I see. Duh. It feels like it's not like I think the people, although that actually might be what triggers the thing that I'm about to bring up. But it feels like you are gonna be there's gonna be like the feelings that you thought you dealt with coming back to the surface again. Does that make sense? So things that you thought you healed from. That's actually the first thing I got as a message, but then they leaned into the people. So it is what it is. But it's just like it flew through like a lot. I mean, a lot of information flew through, but I feel like you're gonna maybe see people, maybe look at memories. Some of you are gonna be scrolling on someone's Instagram, and it's gonna bring up memories or feelings of memories of things that you thought you dealt with. What Metatron, Kuan Yin, Saint Germain are saying is that you're not actually going backwards, though it feels like I think logically like you haven't made any progress, or it's all the same, or you've not really done as much work as you have. You actually have. The fact that it's coming back again to remind you that I'm still here is just what was left over, right? And it feels like they're calling them breadcrumbs, like little bits here. It's like you ate the bread, right? But there's some breadcrumbs. My dog always eats the stuff I leave on the table, right? And they're bringing that up really strongly here. And I really want to emphasize, actually, they want to emphasize that you're not actually taking steps backwards. In fact, you're taking steps forward. Forward was you dealing with the leftovers that you needed to always deal with. So it's telling you to not trust your logical, linear mind, right? Trust your heart and know that you are making progress and that you've done so much already. It's just you've done the hardest part, is what they're saying. But it feels like there's going to be stuff coming to the surface of things that you thought you've dealt with that were still lurking deeper in the subconscious. Okay. Um, so they really want to emphasize that, and it feels like it's gonna kind of come out of left field. So what they're saying, and it might make you negatively spiral. They're saying, no, it doesn't need to deal with it, and you're releasing this once and for all. That's what they keep saying. Okay, let's see what else they want to say to Gemini. I feel like there's someone that you are connected to, an ex potentially, or a past person. You haven't completely forgiven them. And I feel like for the most part you have, but there is some residual stuff. They're kind of like referring to it as like It's like you drop something on a counter and you clean it up with napkins, but it's not really clean, right? There's still like a little bit of gloss of whatever this is, right? They're saying that there is just a little bit of stuff of what you haven't healed or forgiven someone for, but it looks like, I think if you don't look at it in the proper angle, you won't see that there's some little bit of gloss there from the food, right, that you dropped on the counter. And they're emphasizing that you're gonna have that new angle to see that, oh, I haven't forgiven them for so and so thing, and you're gonna be able to forgive them once and for all. Some of yous, it feels like this is going to help open up the doorway for this connection to come back into your life. Just that little bit of the thing that's there. Um, but they're not really bringing that up. They're saying I don't know. No, they're saying that you're going to see something about them, or you may have thoughts play out in your mind, which you give your caddy, or you give backhanded comments to them, like in a fantasy. Whatever it is, it feels like that's what's going to help you see. You still haven't forgiven them fully. Um, so that's really really important for you. But I feel like it's not just that person. It's also other stuff. But why did you bring up that person, Metatron? He said that you needed to know that. Some of you may, oh, I see. He's saying that because you so desperately want to forgive them, you may overlook the fact that you haven't fully. Or you may be so convinced you've forgiven them that you may overlook the fact that you haven't fully. So he's saying that the month of April is going to be really important for you to heal everything, forgive everything. And it's not like half-assed clean it up, basically, right? To fully go in there and scrub it real good, right? And you're gonna really get everything. That's what he's saying. It's gonna be, he said, spotless. That's what I said, spotless. Um, is there anything else on that you want to give to Gemini? He's saying no. He's saying no. But I do feel it's going to be other than just this person. But some of you truly have convinced yourself you've forgiven them, and you have 99%. I guess, right? He's saying 98.1. That's what Metatron gave. 98.1. Um, it's you need to finish it off. All right. This is doing something to your life. So what he's saying, it's holding you back. There's something that you're trying to get, or you want to move forward, but it's like that little itty bit. It's not. You're not able to do it. I do have a love contract coming out. If I haven't released it yet, I do have a love contract coming out. It helps you release that last little bit. So if you are interested in that, check it out in the comment or description section if I have it out. If I'm not, just wait for it. It should be coming out this week. All right. What else do you have for Gemini? For Gemini viewers for April, there is a need not to punish yourself. Okay. It came in two ways. The first thing was referencing a feeling of you taking up a step backwards when in fact you're actually taking a step forward, right? Don't punish yourself for that. But the other one was restricting yourself from things that you actually want. I'm not sure what this is referring to. He's not really bringing it up, and he doesn't really want to dive in, Metatron, but he definitely wants to bring this up. Don't restrict yourself from stuff that you do desire. He's saying that there's more truth in that than you realize. There's more, it's like there's learning that you'll have from that experience. Um, there's something that you'll see in that experience that you couldn't see otherwise. He's saying that your heart is leading you places, or your inspiration is leading you places that you may try to restrict yourself from, and there is a need for you to make sure you are pursuing it. Because it's like you're asking a question. He's bringing up a random thing where it's like you want to know how, like, what you should do for like purpose or whatever, right? What should I do? What should I do? And it's like you don't know, and you have this like desire to take some kind of class, right? Like a creative class. And you think, well, I don't really want to do that for a career, right? But there is something there that you're going to get a learning experience. It could even be just a person you meet there. But whatever the case is, you're going to get something from that experience that you need, and it's going to answer the question you're asking. There's something that you're asking for. Maybe asking the beings of light, maybe like asking God, or source, right, the creator. I don't know what you're asking for or what you're desiring for yourself, and it feels like you are making a request. That's what they're saying. Yeah, they're answering with the inspiration. They're answering with your heart's answering you as well, with the heart, with the desire, with the heart, right? You're just not picking up. That's what they're saying. They're not picking up. So they're saying make sure you do that. Sorry, everyone. I'm a little bit sick. So, okay. What else do you have for Gemini for April? I feel, let's see. Wait. What came to my mind was judging other people, but Metatron said, not that. What do you want to give for Gemini? For Gemini for April? He's bringing up your mind, for instance. Okay, I see what he's saying. Um, he's saying the month of April, it won't necessarily be filled with this, but he's saying that it would be a really good thing to be filled with this if you wanted it to be. And this is to help connect yourself more to the beings of light and to have a stronger, more potent, more, he's calling it a fast paced connection. And that's what he's bringing up, your mind, right? I also think your mind judges you, judges other people. There's need for you to reflect upon that, obviously, but he is bringing up um your there is room for this in the month of April for you to really enhance your connection with the beings of light, to be able to channel or hear them more adequately. I did do a Lumerian high frequency activation, so it helps you access the higher frequencies or the higher beings with higher frequencies, right? If you want to check that out, it's in my video. I released this, but Metatron is saying that in the month of April, it would be a really good thing for you to work on enhancing that connection. In fact, it's a really, really good thing. He's saying that it's not for the month in April or the month after April, but there's something that's coming for you that a being of light will be able to help you navigate what they're saying. It's like you're kind of in a maze, and they'll tell you go here, go there, go that. You know what I mean? Like there's like they'll help you with getting through the maze, basically. But then they also said they will help you from falling into traps or things that would slow you down. So there's something that's coming that's big deal for you that's gonna be really tricky. And I don't know how often you have those tricky experiences, but they're saying that a tricky experiences on the horizon and having a strong connection with your spiritual team will help you navigate those. He's calling them treacherous waters. All right, and that's why. So it's not coming in May. I don't see it coming in June. I maybe July. It's kind of like it's working on this, working on this, working on this. So it's our connection goes from dial up, right? Um, uh, broadband, fiber, right? This is how it goes, right? Fiber. So you want to make sure your connection is on the fiber side, and you have plenty of time. 3 months is so long. But they're saying that to navigate this, it would be so important for you to have that connection with your spiritual team. He wants to switch to guidance now. Can I have guidance, please, for Gemini? I feel he's saying for you to keep your head up. I think you look down a lot. Um, you know that looking down, and I don't know anything about body language, but he's referring to when we look down, we're not feeling confident. We're not feeling like capable. We're not feeling like we can handle what's right ahead of us, right? We're feeling small. We're feeling shy. We're feeling a little bit insignificant, right? He's saying keep your head up. You can do it. That's what he's saying. It's very clear, right? Just like this. It's interesting. It kind of reminds me when I'm walking by people, I always make sure my head's up, right? You know what I mean? Like you just gotta make sure that your head's up. But he's saying that. He's saying keep your head up. I also feel like you have a tendency to pick at, and I think that's a good word, um, mistakes that you make. Like it's like picking at a scab and it never heals properly. You know what I mean? Forgive yourself, forgive anyone involved, right? Forgive, forgive, forgive. Say I'm sorry and release. Say I love you and release, right? But I feel like you have a habit, right, of looking down at what, and it's interesting. He's saying that you kick it around, whatever this is. It's like something broke, and you're kicking it, you're kicking it, you're kicking it, and it's not helping you. It's not helping you make progress. It's not helping anything, right? I feel like you have a habit of that negative spiral in your mind, and the message here is to really learn to conquer that negative spiral. I did that. It's actually real beautiful. Where it's just like I'm not gonna do that to myself anymore. I made that choice, right? So set that intention to make that choice that you're not gonna do that to yourself anymore because that hurts you. You know that, right? It's hurting you. It hurts a lot when you have those negative spirals because you're beating yourself up. No one else is, right? You are. Sorry. But you're beating yourself up. So the message here is stop doing that, right? Keep your head up high, but make that concerted effort and calling the beings of light to help you keep you from doing that as well. And that's why you're gonna have that stronger connection. And there's something again big coming up for you. All right. But I'm gonna leave it there, Gemini. I want to thank you for being here. I thank you for spending time and space with me. I also want to remind you to watch that entire chart, like and comment, and check out my services. And take care. Bye, Gemini. Hi, Cancer. Welcome to my channel. My name is Edgar Mendez, and I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for sharing time and space with me. I want to remind you all that if you didn't catch the intro, I am a little sick, so it is what it is. It was unplanned, that's for sure. So I am a little sick. My voice is kind of right? So if I do sound different, that's the reason. I want to remind you as well to like and comment and watch your entire chart. That sun, that moon, that rising, that Venus, especially your North Node. Kuan Yin, Saint Germain, and Metron have gotten really good at layering everything in your chart, so you have a message for every part. And yeah, I also check out my services that I offer. I have a lot of stuff I do, and today we're going to be focusing on getting April predictions. I don't know. It is what it is. I guess that's how everyone phrases it. They're saying don't name it like that. That's what they're saying. It's what your April's gonna be like. Okay. Anyway, they're saying whether you're aware of it or not. Okay. So let's get started on you, Cancer. April for Cancer. April for Cancer. I feel you are gonna continue on this isolated little streak that you're in, and I'm not sure what isolation this is referring to. Romantic, platonic connections. Connections in general, maybe just public, right? People. I don't know what this is referring to exactly, but it feels like you are currently in um or you have formed a bubble for yourself. What they're telling me, what Metatron is saying, is that this was in some ways needed, right? At one point in time, necessary at one point in time, and it's exactly what the doctor prescribes what they're saying, right? And they really want to emphasize that yes, that's great, but there is a need for you, and I think it's going to start in the month of April. They're saying at the beginning for you to start to motion yourself out of this energy that you're in. They're calling it, I don't like bringing up like I like saying it, but like this, but it's like hermit mode. That's what they're saying, hermit mode. They're really bringing that up. Like you've been in this hermit mode. But I'm not sure what area of life this is. It feels like I see someone who is like jotting down things down in a notebook, right? When there is this desire within your heart to socialize or even have romantic experiences, or both. I'm not sure. I actually think it's both. If I'm being honest, I think you're missing connection. That's what it feels like to me. Kindred part. That's they say kindred partnership, right? They're saying that this hermit mode that you were in, they're saying that you chose to be in, it served its purpose, but it's done. And I for the month of April, and this isn't something that you were going to do. They're saying this is something that you should do if you were wanting to really make progress. To have these experiences is to open yourself up to more social experiences, um, social events, or a romantic interest. Some of you, it feels like it could be either or both. But whatever the case is, you've kept yourself to yourself long enough. It's time to spread those wings, right? There's also, when I saw this, when I first picked up on your energy, Cancer, a bubble on you. There's a bubble that of protection. I would actually ask your angels, ancestors, and guides, and your higher self to remove that from you. It's one that you place on yourself, but remove all of them, right? All the protections, because this keeps you from being able to know if someone's interested in you as well, romantically speaking. So I saw that. That's the first thing I saw, and then I knew what it was I was dealing with. But yeah, they said to say that to you. What else do you have to say to Cancer? I feel like there's a lot of fears of intimacy within you, which makes it kind of trumps, I feel, your approach to becoming more emotionally invested and open with people. Are you serious? He always just like there's too much talking here, I guess. But it definitely feels like there is this energy that's coming through where it's like there's fears about being more emotionally available. Some of you may have friends in your life, but you're not emotionally connected to them, so they're not real friends, right? So it's like it's so just take that into consideration. But there's a real emphasis here on you having fears about being more emotionally available, intimate, and exposed and vulnerable with people. It's what's trumping you, and it's what's keeping you stuck in the cycle that you're in. Some of you have a limited belief system here that tells you that someone's going to show up on your doorstep and they're going to blow open this block that you have now, right? Um, get you out of hermit mode. But the Metatron Quantity Saint Germain are really emphasizing the fact that life isn't going to work like that, right? You've made the choice, right? And again, they brought that up twice now. You made the choice that you were going to pull yourself away from social stuff, right? From vulnerability, from being open. You have not made a choice to open yourself up. So to think that you're gonna somehow find what intimate connection, romantic or platonic, without having to make that choice and putting yourself out there, they just want you to reflect upon not the logic, right? I will look at your heart and say, what do you think I should do about that, right? Like, for real, access that. But again, there is a need for you to reflect upon what is holding you stuck in this. Why do you want it, that the world to be like that world, right? There's a fear that is perpetuating that limiting outdated belief about how the world works. You want to believe in that because you're too afraid to expose yourself and put yourself out there. So there isn't things to look at. They're saying like that is something you wouldn't be looking at this in April. And they're not saying they see someone coming right away, right? But you need to work on this if you do want that in your life, and you don't have to want that ever. But when you do, it's important that you start planning ahead, like 3 months in advance, right? I think I'm halfway ready to open myself up to connection. Well, you gotta start doing it today because it will take months before before it starts to manifest in your reality, right? But there is a need for you to be more open-hearted and receptive to that experience, which you're not currently. So they really want to emphasize that. What else about Cancer? Cancer. They're bringing up your past love experiences and past experiences with friends as well. You've not had it easy. There is a lot of fears here. This is, of course, with purpose. And I know that we have sometimes these limiting beliefs that tell us think life shouldn't be this way. Um, I mean, who are you to say, right? But they're really emphasizing that your life's not been the easiest when it comes to connection. It's not about not going those bad experiences. It's about not letting those bad experiences hold you back from going towards the experiences that you desire for yourself. And that seems to be what happened. And they really want to just like bring that to the forefront of your mind. And again, you don't have to deal with this yet. However, you do have to eventually. This is no matter what, even if you're making it through this video, it will place itself in your subconscious, those words, and it will ring true when it needs to. But anyway, let's see. Is there anything else that you want to say on that? No. They definitely want to bring up for those of you that are having trouble forgiving, letting go, or releasing, there is some lesson there, is what they want to say. Forgiveness there is what they want to say. So they're just saying for those of you that are troublesome with that. This is funny. Should I bring that up? They're also saying that some of you who feel in your heart that you have like a spiritual connection with someone, that there are limiting outdated beliefs that keep you stuck where you are. Some of you, the limiting belief that I actually got the most was, oh, this person's my twin, I can never let them go kind of belief system. Yeah, that's a lie. We can do anything. That's the point. So I don't know what belief system you have about your spiritual connection. But they really want you to reflect upon that as well. And again, there's all these it's what they're saying. It will take 3 months for you to be ready for the kind of connection that your heart's desiring already. So you do you, obviously, but they're bringing that up to the forefront. It takes a while to get yourself ready. You're not going to just like rip a band-aid off. That's not how it's going to work for you, because you've taken so long to keep yourself in this isolated energy. You build up so many layers of protection. you've gotten so used to it. They're saying it's a custom taste now, right? Where it's like you took a while to get in. It at the same amount of time it took you to get to where you are, it's the same amount of time it's gonna take you to get out of it. So they're really emphasizing that it's not an overnight process. Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay. What else do you have for Cancer? Let's see. What else do I have for Cancer? I'm getting your parents. All right. So sorry, I have like cat hair on my face. um, they're definitely bringing up your parents. I don't know what kind of connection your parents had, but it felt like it was not the best kind of connection um, for most of yous. But there's something about that. There's something there. Some of yous, you're attached to the bad connection that they had, and you're worried that you might end up in the same kind of connection. Um, Others of you, I guess it could be the opposite end of the spectrum where their connection was so great, you think that you can't have that. You'll never find it. So, whatever the case is, there's an attachment to your parents' connection and the kind of connection that they had. And there is a fear within yourself, an attachment within yourself, a belief system within yourself that tells you you're going to have a connection like that or you can't have one like that. Whatever the case is, I think most of you are going to have a connection like that. That's what they're saying. But there could be a small minority where your parents' connections were great. But they're emphasizing that there is something like that there. So a need for you to reflect upon it. Again, this is all shadow work, isn't it? Right? Going into your subconscious, healing these things, removing these things, identifying is the most important one. Even if you go through like healing and healing, like I offer healing and stuff like that. I have to like when I'm telling people, it's do you have this problem? You have this problem. You have this problem. You have this problem. I have to say that first before we're able to release it. Because if I have not identified it, there'll be missing pieces when I'm releasing it from them. So identifying it is the most important thing. So they're saying for you to start to be keenly aware of these things so you can start to release them and you will start to make progress in these areas. I do feel that it will be fast. It will be so fast if you did it as well. Like it doesn't feel like it's going to take that long for you to be ready, really ready, for you to be attracting in really good romantic partners. And again, if like, your heart is like, it's like, banging on the door. I want romance. Sorry. But yeah, like it wants romance. Your heart definitely wants those experiences. God, I thought I like coughed it out. It really wants those experiences, and it doesn't have them, and it's taken the time that you needed, right? But if your heart's saying that you are ready to start to initiate the next steps to opening yourself up to love, your heart's not wrong. That's the point, right? So it's a need for you to reflect on what you think, or why you feel you're not ready for such and such connections, for these really fulfilling connections. I feel like you really want gratifying connections like kindred partnerships, friends, and romantic interests. You really want that. But what's keeping you from going after that? No, that's the point. That's the 3 months journey you're going to have to take to heal what's keeping you from that. And where are these things being held? Your subconscious. That's the point. As the whole reading has been focused on this. I think we're good on that. Let's see. Is there any guidance that you have for Cancer? They want to bring up your past connections. I feel like a lot of you look at how things played out in the past and it could make you cringe. It definitely feels like it's being used against you, right? Your own past experiences. This could be from people in your own life, but I think you are the one who's weaponizing these experiences against yourself, right? You're looking at these experiences and you're convincing yourself that what's the point? It's not out there. I haven't been able to find it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what lack is coming through in your subconscious or what how you are weaponizing your past experiences to keep you stuck in a place that your heart doesn't want. But whatever it is, you need to reflect upon that. They're saying it's specifically, I feel, the past experiences. This is what I was talking about when it comes to forgiveness and releasing and healing those past experiences, maybe even confronting them as well. There is a need for you to close out those chapters and give yourself closure here. What other guidance do you have for Cancer? Um, they are in some ways bringing up I don't know how to phrase this. Um, they're kind of bringing up a need for you to have a good enough reason to push through the dark times. Um, but the way that they gave it to me was a dream. Like you have this idea, or yeah, I guess, right? Or a dream or fantasy about living a specific type of life, right? With specific type of connections. Very specific for you, right? Connection, connection, connection. They're emphasizing for you to use that, right, as a way to navigate yourself towards these things. And they're saying for you to not have specific people there, right, but know what you want to feel. Does it make sense? And again, they're really emphasizing a need for you to follow what you feel, right, because your heart is leading you towards the things that you actually desire, the things that could bring so much happiness into your life. However, you are scared about, you're scared that you can't get it, and you're scared about repeating the past. So it's like this fear is just, it's got you trapped, and there is a need for you to reflect upon that. Is there anything else that you have for guidance, please, for Cancer? There is a need to keep your head up high, keep persevering. It's they're saying this specifically. If what you desire isn't where you are, then you need to take a step forward always. So like they're saying for you to have that in your mind. I again, that's why they were talking about the idea, right? I want this. I want this. I desire this. If it's not that that's right in front of you, you gotta keep moving. Um, I don't know if you tend to stop for some reason, or you settle often, or you used to, but they're saying for you to not stop. A lot of, oh, I see, it's kind of like the difference between yeah, like someone who gets what their heart desires and someone who takes less than is someone who believes that their what their heart desires is actually out there. There is a belief factor here as well. It's not just fears, right? A lot of you may settle for something that is second rate because you feel like it doesn't exist. If your heart is saying I want more, then it exists. Does it make sense? It's I it's like if your heart's like, no, I want more than this, then what you want exists out there. They're really emphasizing this because it's about you not settling anymore and you not accepting second rate. Your heart wants more, then there is more to have. That's the point. I'm gonna leave it there. I want to thank you, Cancer. Please don't forget to like and comment and check out all of your chart as well as my services, and take care. Bye, Cancer. And sorry about coughing. Hi, Leo. Welcome to my channel. My name is Edgar Mendez, and I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for sharing time and space with me. I want to remind you all, if you didn't catch the intro, I'm a little bit sick, so it is what it is. I'm trying my best not to cough on camera, but it does happen a little bit. I also want to remind you to watch your entire chart, your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus, and especially your North Node. And liking and commenting, I don't know if I said that, but yes, that matters for me. It really does help a lot, especially watching that chart. And today we're going to be focusing on getting your April predictions. Um, but I'm letting Kuan Yin, Saint Germain, and Metatron determine what they give. So it's kind of been like it's not really predictions per se. Some of the stuff is you should focus on this, so we'll see what they say to you. But just so you all know, so let's take a look here. So what do you have to say for Leo? Leo viewers, I'm seeing you on a path specifically. The path that you're on right now feels quite barren. And I'm not saying that there's no abundance here. I'm not saying that there's no, I don't know what the word is. It's like I'm seeing scorched earth. So it's strange to say, but it's like I'm seeing scorched earth. And they're not saying that it's not necessarily lacking, it's just missing what you desire. They're saying specifically it's missing water. In water, it's obviously it's symbolic for emotions, right? Love. Your life is missing that. So it's somewhat similar to, I think, Cancer's reading, but they're saying it's not. They're saying it's not exact the same, but it has similar tones to Cancer's reading that we just had. But I see that your life is like you're on this barren path. What they want to tell you is that it will end. Um, they're calling it a journey of self discovery. I don't know how much you've accomplished in your life, or whether or not you're kind of you're sick and you're tired, or uh, I guess I have to say it because it's the word that came to my mind. Maybe you're on the older side, right? I don't know, but they're saying that what's going to bring water into your life are new experiences that make you feel amazing. But there is something like, I've been around the block, um, I've done it all or something, or I don't know, that makes you not want to try the new things. And it kind of feels, and some of you, this could be like an issue to do with feeling like a novice again. So let's say this is a new creative project, but you already built this dynasty, right? And you're like, I don't know if I want to do it. Or maybe you already went to, to college for something, but you have this desire to do something else. And you're thinking, well, I went to college for that. Why would I do something else? Because your heart desires it, right? And the only way for you to bring in an influx of water, and they're calling it like the California drought. That's what they're saying. And again, I'm seeing forest fire now, real crazy up in here. But they are emphasizing that the only way for you to bring in that water is for you to try the new things and become that inquisitive person again. I think that there is yeah, they haven't been clear on this for everything, but there's a limiting belief within yourself that tells you that you shouldn't be that way anymore. But this is nonsense. You do whatever you want to do, whatever you desire, no matter who the hell says what, right? But I feel like there is a limiting belief here that tells you, like, it kind of reminds me of like when you would go to like I would go to college or classes, and you see older people going back to school getting different degrees because they're tired of their old job, right? It's like, who cares how old you are, right? Who cares what you've done? Who cares what you've achieved? You need to go back to basics because that's what your heart desires, and that's actually you like it's interesting. They're saying that you like starting something new and following it to completion. You like that. But there's some kind of limiting belief here that tells you that you shouldn't be starting anything new right now. Or you should stop starting things new. Or it makes you resist starting something new. So it could be something that's currently in your life, but it's not necessarily. They're emphasizing though, it's a belief system that makes you think that, oh, I shouldn't do that. I should just throw in the towel or something like that. It's interesting. Some of you, this is coming from lack, and what they gave me for lack is I should appreciate what I have. That's crazy. Your heart wants more. You get more. Period. Who cares how much you have? Who cares how much you have to be thankful for? Your heart wants more because your heart wants more. Your heart's never wrong. That's the point, right? So even though logically, I feel you look at your life and think you should be, I don't know, you should find satisfaction there, but you're not, then you're not, period, end of story. Stop fighting it. But I feel like there's something like this at play here. I think I got it. Did I encapsulate that correctly, Metatron? He said yes. Is there anything else that you want to add to that? There is stuff burning down in your life as well that's making room for new plants, new trees, new things for you. That's beautiful. So even though some of you might be facing this in the month of April, because it is an April reading, but I see it ahead of you, like maybe June, right? I don't know when they have forest fires often. I don't know, but it's like I'm seeing that like fiery forest coming up. But it's ahead of you, and the reason for this is that it's going to make headway for something new to be planted there. So they're saying, and it's kind of giving you a little bit of like a warning: do not fret when things are falling away from your life, even though there may be like a lack mentality that wants to make you hold on to it. Does that make sense? You like that. So they're saying this really strongly. So is there anything else on this? No. That's kind of where they're landing. They're also bringing up a need for you to find other sources than just one source of fulfillment. And I'm not sure if you are the kind of person that just zeroes in on something. But that's not, they're saying that's not quite healthy, right? It's like that's not enough water for you, and that's not enough fulfillment. It's not enough emotion for you. It's not enough to quench your thirst, is what they're bringing up. And they're saying that you're thirsty, right? They're emphasizing a need for you to have multiple streams of water coming in, multiple streams of fulfillment coming in, and that's really going to help bring you into alignment. A lot of you have something in your life. Some of you have nothing, I suppose, but you have something, but it's not enough. You need more than what you currently have. So whether you have a little bit or a lot, you need more. So it just is what it is. So there is a need for you to look upon that, and you need things that are going to make you fulfilled. You need things that are going to actually bring you happiness. If they're not bringing you happiness, they're adding fuel to the flame. They're not alleviating, right? the condition that you found yourself in. And this is a, they're saying that this is a tough journey. I feel like things have gotten worse for you as well. Like you've gotten more and more unhappy. And the reason for this is that you've resisted what you actually know intuitively and with your heart's own calling to do. And this is to start something that you find interesting, something that you find that I don't know, something that just speaks like to stimulate you, right? And it's not that that's going to be the thing you're going to do for a while. It's just, it might lead you to multiple things, right? But you're going to find something that's really going to get you there. It's really going to get the job done, right? But they're emphasizing that you've actually put this off for a while, so it's gotten hotter and hotter and hotter. They're bringing up global warming now, right? Where it's like no one's doing anything about it, and it keeps getting warmer. Well, it's just, what do you think, right? It's this is what they're saying. What do you think? What do you think is gonna happen? It's gonna get worse and worse. You're not gonna stay the same amount of unhappy that you were a year ago. You're gonna get even more unhappy as the years go on, to the point where you're miserable, right? You may already be, by the way, but they're emphasizing that it's getting worse for your highest good, even though, because you're experiencing such negative amount of emotions, you may not actually think it is for your highest good. In fact, you may feel like you're being backed against the corner, but otherwise you wouldn't have done anything, right? So they're emphasizing, yeah, this because you were being stubborn, because you were resisting, it's kind of like there was no choice here, right? You led the being to light and your higher self with no choice, kind of thing, right? To push you into this corner, right? To get you to make these choices, and then boom, you're on a path that's going to make you very unhappy, to really magnify the things that you seem to want to be overlooking and not want to address, while simultaneously encouraging you to try out new things. Very beautiful. I don't know if you see that as beautiful. I see, because it's so damn beautiful, but that is actually quite beautiful. I love it that no matter how annoying we can be, they always try to make sure that we have our best life. And that's what's happening right now, right? Your higher self, right? The beings of light, with their guidance that they give, right? They're trying to get you to make choices that really help magnify the issues that you want to overlook, so that you can finally face them, heal them, and not be held back by them. Boom, right? Beautiful. Um, let's see. Let's get a little bit more here. Is there anything else on that? They're saying that when you finally start to make the necessary changes, relief will come fast. Really fast as well. One of the things that they're saying would be like the most important thing for you. Let's say you are out of ideas, or you've been on this desolate, horrible path for a long time, for years, right? Let's say you don't have any ideas because you've been on it so long. They're saying to connect to your inner child. Say, I am one with my inner child, and you close your eyes, and then you're probably gonna have to heal your inner child. But after you get all that work done, your inner child will actually know what you should try. So they're saying, if you don't have any ideas about what to do, ask the inner child. Duh, right? That's what they're saying. Like, duh, like it's so easy. But they really want to emphasize that. Just ask the inner child. This is the part of you this is the part that you need to recapture. Does that make sense? Like that Page of Wands energy. You need to recapture that inquisitiveness that children have. And what part of you has that inquisitiveness? Always, always, always your inner child. It's like they're saying it's been there the whole time. Anyway. Ugh. um, is there anything else on that you want to give them? No, they want to switch to guidance. Can I get the guidance, please, for Leo? They're referencing a spiritual connection that you have. A lot of you view this person, um, or disconnect. Maybe it's not the spiritual connection. Maybe it's just a romantic partner in general. But you view them as someone who has this massive pool of water, ocean, right? That's gonna pour on your scorched earth. This is how there is an idea here that they're going to come in, bring water, bring the rain, I guess, right? Bring the rain, and it's going to make everything all types of better. So they're saying that you have this idea. Yeah. Yeah. Do you see problems with that? Is what they wanted to ask. They don't want to say anything about that, but do you see problems with that statement, with that belief system, with that idea. And do you think that idea or that belief system that you have or that fantasy that you have is actually perpetuating the very thing they just brought up? They're saying like this, what I just said, like that. This is what they're saying. Oh, okay. So they're just laying that on you. What else do you have for Leo for guidance? They're saying for you to find meaning. Meaning is the most important. They're saying to set an intention, right? I feel like they're saying that you have a habit. I'm not sure what this habit is, but it kind of feels like you start things and you stop them. That's what they said, but I don't know. Um, they're saying the reason for this is that you find something interesting, but there's no meaning there, right? So they want to emphasize a need for you to find meaning when it comes to what you're intending to do to bring some fulfillment in your life, right? Make sure that there's meaning there, because if there's no meaning there, you won't keep going. I think that this actually might be for some of you is what you've been missing as well. Like, why do you try things and you just fall in love with it so quickly? Because it doesn't have meaning for you. That's the point. They're saying like that's like the missing puzzle piece that you've been missing when it comes to trying new things is it hasn't had meaning. It doesn't matter. It maybe to some people, but you don't give a f about that, basically, right? That's what you want to say. You don't care about that. Um, so you need to care. It needs to mean something for you. It needs to. Anything less is just not enough. And you know that, and you've lived that. You understand that. Now it's time for you to take that learning and apply it to your life. But I feel like you've had to live those non-meaningful paths multiple times, even though that may be quite discouraging to teach you that lesson. And what they're saying is, it wasn't meant to tell you you're never going to have anything good. It was meant to show you that what you were going after wasn't meaningful. So you can ditch that and actually follow what matters. Period. That's the point. But a lot of you may look at what you've tried already and you were like not happy with, and you're now looking at that and thinking I shouldn't try anymore. Yeah. And they're saying it's coming full circle now, because that experience is what led you to go down this really, really scorched earth path that you're on, that's making you unhappy every step you take on it. Purposeful, right? By the way. Um, and the only way for you to kind of move, right, are in the, I can say right direction, but for you to actually try again, it's for it to be so bad, it to be so, I'm not gonna say depressing, but maybe, right? For it to be so, you used to be so unhappy there, right, that you finally moved. Sometimes this could be a bad job, for instance, who knows, but it's something like that. So they're saying it's coming full circle now. Is there anything else on this that you want to give to Leo? That's it. That's it. I'm gonna leave it there, Leo. I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for sharing time and space with me. Again, please don't forget to like. Those likes matter a lot, especially for readings that are so honest as well. And please don't forget to watch your entire chart. That view duration really does wonders for my channel. And take care. Bye, Leo. Hi, Virgo. Welcome to my channel. My name is Edgar Mendez, and I want to thank you all for being here. I do appreciate all of you, by the way. And I want to remind you all that I am a little bit sick if you didn't catch the intro. It just am, so yeah. Don't forget to watch your entire chart. That sun, that moon, that rising, that Venus, especially that North Node. That view duration does wonders for me. Also, liking and commenting really does help as well. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. But today we're gonna be focusing on Virgo. Your April reading. So I have Quantity and Saint Germain Metatron. They've been layering. I guess for all of you, it's like each part of your chart, just something different. Um, trust that anyway. But we're gonna see. We'll see what they have to say for you. The readings have been somewhat triggering, I suppose, but I don't know. I don't know what people find triggering these days. Everyone's triggers a lot. It's not as bad, I don't think. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Virgo. What does Virgo need to know? A Metatron, Aquarius, Saint Germain. They wanted to kind of go for an uplifting message a little bit, but they're not. They're not quite sure about that. I feel Virgo. Okay, so I see why there's apprehension here. They want just to give like a side note, and I feel like you've had a hard time currently, or you are working diligently on something. It's a feeling. You're gonna have a lot of success there, but they don't want to tell you that because I don't know if you have a habit of not putting the work in after maybe you start to get the success, but they just said, I want to give them an uplifting message, and I kind of want you to say that. But in reality, they don't need it, but they just kind of want to give that confirmation. Whatever you've been working on, whatever you've been doing for yourself, it's going to pay off. But they don't want to like over stimulate you with that message, because it might get you to put less work in because you think it's in the bag, right? Yeah, it's not. You've worked hard for it. That's why you're going to have this. It's not in the bag though, right? And it will only be in the bag if you keep working hard. So they gave that as a message. I know it's strange, but they just gave it. It's like, oh, I want to tell them, because they've done so much, but we'll just like do a little sprinkle there. So maybe for May, I guess we'll see. But they definitely just like, you go Virgo is what they want to say. Let's see what else does Virgo have. Virgo energy for those Virgo people that are gonna watch this. I am getting you being overworked a little bit. They're not saying that this is necessarily bad. They're not like, oh no, don't do it. But I am getting this a little bit. I feel, and as they're not saying that this is going to happen in April. In fact, I don't think so. But they're saying that you do need to look on traveling somewhere that's really going to help stimulate you, um, or something that people do that helps them decompress and relieve stress. And I'm not saying that this is the most necessary thing right now, but I think that you need to give yourself, no, no, not give yourself. That's not the word they want to use. Treat yourself to something like this. And it feels like you're working, you're working, you're working, and you don't want to treat yourself because you want to keep working. And they're saying, yeah, that's working. It's what it is. And then, yeah, that's working. You're going to get that success. And you don't necessarily stop. However, when you do finally achieve that level of success you're looking for, please take some treat time, right? And they're really wanting you to do it. And like there's some people who are really good at treating themselves. You know what I'm talking about. Some people are just, I did this to myself, I did that, I went here, da da da. You know what I'm talking about, right? And they're real good. They're professionals, right? You're not. This is what it is. They're saying, no, you're not this. You're not that person. You need to be this person on whatever trip or spa week that you take. And they're really, and then again, they're saying you don't necessarily have to travel. You can maybe take like like a spa week somewhere, right? Where you stay somewhere for a week and they just do all these pampering treatments. You need something where you're not really thinking about how to make yourself feel good. You need a professional is what they're saying. So that's a real interesting energy to come through. They're saying that I don't know what you do that you hope brings in that level of pampering and like treating of self, feeling, right? But it's not what really works. So they're kind of bringing me up for a moment just to help me, I guess, me understand, but also help you understand. Like when I think of sometimes treating myself, what I think of, oh, let me go get Wingstop. They're saying that's not it, right? They're really emphasizing a need for you to pamper yourself in a way that makes you feel amazing. And although because you're such a hard worker, and because this is what brings you to that success that you have, that or success that you're going to have or have already, that few people achieve, it doesn't mean that you can't pamper yourself or know how to treat yourself. And in fact, there is a need for you to reflect upon that. You can do it both. You can't do it both ways. I feel like you need that. There's something about the energy itself, though, and they're calling it an injection of energy of, I think most people will call it fertility. It's that energy of receptivity. Does that make sense? That's what they're saying. You need that injection of that. In fact, they're saying this like right now. I know you're working on those goals. However, you're gonna need it eventually. They're saying around May. I think whenever there's something that's gonna happen that's gonna be big. Is what they're saying. You're working on something. It's kind of like the way that they're kind of describing it to me is you're working on something and you're gonna go viral. Like if you were to have a social media thing, you go viral, and then every video after that's gonna be or thing you publish after that's gonna be really popular, right? So I don't know what this is referring to exactly. So they gave me that as an example to just help you understand whatever you're working on, it's going to reap a success you were not expecting, hoping for, I suppose. But you're gonna get this because you worked hard for it. And when you do, I feel like you can approach that in two ways. Keep working hard, which they don't suggest, are not as hard, right? They don't don't run yourself into the ground. In fact, I think you need a me time. It'll be the exact time to do it because it's interesting. It's just interesting energy because you can go either way. Most people look at that and see all that positive reinforcement, and then they think, oh, I should totally. Oh, hello, sir. I should totally work even harder. Don't do that. Um. Anyway, sorry, he distracted me. What else do you have for Virgo? For Virgo, let's see. Sorry, everyone. He's just here. Um, and again, it doesn't feel like this is for April, but it feels like it's something that you need to start opening yourself up to. I am seeing soul connections coming in, like friends that would have been friends, best friends in past lives, are going to start to pop up in your life in some way, shape, or form. Maybe through that peak that you didn't know you were getting, maybe through something else entirely. But it feels like in the month of April, you're going to start to be. Uh, it's like I'm seeing these frequencies flowing to you, where you're gonna know that someone's important to you. You don't know how. You don't know what that means. You don't know what you should do about it. Actually, I'm gonna ask what they think you should do about it. But you're not gonna know what to do about it. But you're gonna know it means something. They're saying that these connections, you're ready for them. These are soul connections that are gonna help. Um, they're saying further your goals. I don't know what that means, but they're saying it's going to help further your goals, but it's going to help get that kind of connection that you are in search of. And I feel like these are soul connections. And what I want to say about soul connections, I mean people who were best friends in previous lifetimes, who you will be best friends in this lifetime. Um, Maybe lovers, I suppose, but they're not emphasizing that. They're emphasizing that. And in the month of April, these connections are going to start to pop up in your life randomly. They just gave it to me. They said to act on that. They're saying to not when you know, trust yourself enough to know that that person means something to you, and say hi. Introduce yourself. It's just because they are afraid to say hi, just because they are afraid to do anything about what they feel when they feel the same thing you do, doesn't make it any less real, doesn't make them any less interested, right? But they're saying for you, because they're giving this to you, right, to act, right? Follow your heart and act when you know that you should act towards these things. I feel like for a lot of you as well, you have been picking up frequencies from people as well. I see you. What they're saying about these frequencies is that it's times when you turn your head and you weren't thinking about turning your head, but you do, and you see someone, and it's not like, I don't know, like it's like because you're picking up their frequency is what they're saying. They're saying that you're gonna, it's like that, like your head has been picking up more often for these frequencies is what they're saying, and it hasn't for a while is what they're saying. So it's like you've had this you were dipping below radar, now you're going above radar, and you're on everyone's radar and everyone is on yours. And they're saying that you're going to be able to discern a connection that means something versus one that doesn't really quickly, and you're going to have to act accordingly. And they're saying in the month of April, this is coming. It's coming. That's the point. And I don't know if you've been asking for this. They're not saying that you have, but they're saying that it's important that you understand what's happening so you can act faster, and that you can get further with your goals faster. These connections are going to help you see more about yourself. That's what they're saying. Sorry, I was like, how would that help them? They're saying it's going to help you understand more about yourself. They're going to draw out gifts that you have, the connection that you have with this person. This sounds strange. In a past life, the power that you had there was, all of us bring in different types of power and gifts and stuff like that. But the power that you had in that life, when you mesh with that person, it's gonna draw it out in you deep. It's deep in you to the surface. So you're gonna, let's say, you've always been quite shy. You've always been a little bit quiet, but you actually in the past life you were a leader, right? So they're gonna draw out that leadership in you, and you're not gonna be that shy, quiet person anymore, right? You're gonna learn that you are strong, that you are capable, and that your voice matters and all that stuff. And in fact, you have good ideas, right? Something like that. That's what they're saying. They're saying that these connections are gonna draw these things out in you, and vice versa. This is gonna be a mutually symbiotic connection. This is why this person was your best friend. Persons, by the way, is what they're saying. Sorry, my throat. But they're saying that that's how it's gonna help you further your goals. They're gonna draw things out in you that lay. Oh, I see. Lay dormant. They're dormant, and this is why they've come in this life with you. This is why you're meeting them, because you're ready for these parts of you to be activated. Beautiful. Beautiful right there. That's very interesting. You're ready for these parts. Okay. Is there anything else that you need to know about acting accordingly? Oh, they did give this earlier. If you want help, you can ask your angels to like filter out the frequencies of people who aren't your people, so that you don't get let's so you're not like getting drawn by everyone, right? So you will just know the only person you should be drawn by are people who do matter, so or to you. I mean, matter to you. So they're saying for you, you can ask your angels to help you filter out these connections. They won't filter out everything if they can't, but they will filter out enough to give you some to make it a better chance for you to really discern who is that person. Because it's like they're showing me that you can no, they're saying even if you were to walk into a crowded Starbucks, you would know. You will know. That's the point. You're going to know that it's them, and you're gonna have to go and say hi. Or actually, they're not saying you have to, but they're saying that it would be a real good idea if you did. And it's interesting. This is what it is. I saw though this person on their phone. They're one of those people. They're on their phone scrolling while they're waiting for their drink. That's the imagery I'm getting. But so I don't see this person really being aware of your of that frequency right away. But the moment they meet you, they'll know. Juicy. Yeah. Is there any like guidance that you have on that? Medicine quantity, do you mean? No, they do want to give other guidance though. This is a strange guidance, but I have to say it. You know, time capsules, right? Um, Time capsules are like these things that you do. I don't know if you need to make one. In fact, I feel like that would be a really interesting thing for you to do, is what they're saying. A time capsule. And I don't know why, but I'm not sure the purpose behind them, but don't you open them up in 10 years? And yeah, that's what they're saying. To do a time capsule, dig it up, right? And then you're going to open it up in 10 years, and it's really going to help you see how much progress you've made. And again, I see success for you. Success much bigger than you already have had. It feels like you have worked hard. And I feel like you're going to have that blow up essentially. Where it's gonna pay off, but it's like you've worked really hard for that payoff. So it's not you're getting this lucky break. You've worked for it, is what they're saying. But they're saying, you know, what would be a really good idea for you is a time capsule. And they're saying that it is in the month of April because it's really going to help you understand just how much distance you've made. But it's going to help put things in perspective for you as well. In terms of, I feel like you have made a lot of progress in your life, Virgo. Um, Things that you desired a long time ago, or you would wish for yourself a long time ago, you've done, right? But you don't look at that and think, wow, right? But this is really going to help get you into that perspective, and it's really going to help keep that energy basically. So it's interesting, they're saying for you to do that, a time capsule about where you are. And I think it's where you put the stuff that's important to you right in the present moment. So they're saying, right? um Even put your dreams in there, like I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that, and see how much you achieve. See how much you achieve. That's what they're saying. Do that. I know it sounds strange, but that's what they gave. So is there any other guidance that you have for Virgo? They are bringing your I don't like to say it's a desire, but they're seeing that you tend to be self-critical often. Yeah, want to work on that is kind of the feeling that they're giving. That's it. They just said that. It's like, I would probably start to work on that even further. For those of you that have worked on it, but I think you have been living with it for so long, you have gotten used to it, kind of thing. And they're saying, no, no, you don't get used to this. In fact, you always fight. Um, it doesn't hold you back per se, is what they're saying, but it doesn't help you either. Okay. Is there any other guidance that you have for Virgo? And that's it. That's it. I gotta keep these readings short. My voice. Anyway, I want to thank you, Virgo, for being here. Please don't forget to like and comment. Don't forget to check out your entire chart. get that view duration up for me. And yeah, check out my services as well and take care. Bye, Virgo. Hi, Libra. Welcome to my channel. My name is Edgar Mendez, and I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for sharing time and space with me. I want to remind you, if you didn't like catch the intro, I'm a little bit sick, so just keep that in mind. I also want to let you all know to, like and comment. It does help me out. And watching your entire chart, your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus, and especially your North Node, that view duration really does help me out like a lot. All right. But today we're gonna be focusing on getting your April reading. It's kind of, I didn't know what to expect because I never do these readings. Um, but Saint Germain, Quanian, and Metatron are kind of giving whatever they want to give for each of the signs. So it's been kind of interesting. Anyway, let's see. Let's take a look here. Let's see for Libra, Libra energy. What's going on for Libra, or what does Libra need to know about April? What's happening here? You're definitely at a crossroads in the month of April, but it feels like it started a little bit before April. So you actually might be in it watching this video, or you've been in it when you're watching this video. There's this crossroads in your life right now about I feel like it's like they're saying more of the same or something new, right? Some uses is work related. You're thinking about, should I do a different job? And you're like stuck at this job, and it's really easy to get stuck there. I feel like you are fighting for more for yourself. I'm not saying it's a job per se, but whatever this is, I feel like you are fighting for more for yourself. And this fight is hard, right? That's what they're saying. The thing is, this fight, it's not easy. Um, this is something that you are fighting against. They're saying that this is the start of it. Everyone has to make that choice, right? Everybody has to fight enough to even have that choice to make. And they're saying, and I know that you're at this crossroads, and I know that you're having trouble making that choice. Always follow your heart. There's no point in trying to logic your way through it. You won't get anywhere. It just the mind isn't meant to make the choices for us. Our heart is, and that's just the message that's coming through for that end. But they are emphasizing the struggle it is to make the choice that that your heart is asking for. um I'm not sure what's holding you back per se. It's the theme actually for the past month has been limiting outdated beliefs, but they're not highlighting that. Whatever this is, and whatever the reason is why you are struggling to make this choice, um that your heart's leading you to, heal that. Obviously focus on that. And for the month of April, I until you make this choice, the past or the new experiences, they're not going to come. Is what they're saying. So you're kind of stuck until that choice is made for yourself right now. So that's kind of where you are. It's like you're stepping into April with that. All right. So what else about Libra? They are referencing now, making sure that you don't make your choices from a place of lack and fear. That's something that they're coming through really strongly with. I do have contracts for that in the comment or description section, but they are emphasizing that. There's just like, I have one more thing I want to add to that. Don't make the choice from lack or fear. So anyway, this came through earlier, and I was actually thinking about it right before I started this reading, and it's like if your heart wants more, then there's more out there. Period. End of story. And you can have it. That's the point, right? If your heart wouldn't be pulling you towards more if there wasn't more. Your heart wouldn't be pulling you towards something else if you couldn't get it. So it's like it's telling you, I want this, I want more. I don't want, this isn't enough, right? Because that you can have that, and you should have that. You should have the best, but you have to be making that choice for yourself. But a lot of you make choices from a place of lack that keeps you stuck in what they're calling it as a paradigm, right? Because you're constantly making a choice from lack. I'm not sure what area of life this is, but it does feel like this is a crossroads that you're currently in right now. Work, love, life, whatever. All right, so they want to switch gears now. I feel like there is at times a bit of a resistance here to maybe the beings of light, maybe someone more advanced than yourself. I'm not sure. There seems to be resistance here on your end for certain parts. I do feel there are, and I don't know, again, they're not being specific because it's going to be a little bit different for everyone, but they're saying that there's times when you hear a truth, but you have so much opinion around that, around that truth, or what, or something else you thought was true that conflicts with that, that you don't want to embrace what you know to be true. Instead, you want to stick with what you have opinions for. So they're kind of bringing this up right now, and it feels like this is actually in reference to information that you are receiving. This could be from life experiences, I suppose, but it feels like you're hearing it from someone, telepathically, through your third eye, or someone actually speaking that in the physical form. But it seems like there's resistance here to what you know to be true and what you're hearing because of the opinions you have around something. So there's too much. You're too attached to a specific idea. You're too attached to a specific um like things have to be this way, but they're not. And this if you keep trying to live your life from this angle, right, your life's gonna just go downhill, right? So the truth that you're being given by someone or a being of light is meant to help you in an upward trajectory. It's meant to help you spiral upwards. But the truth that you seem to want to live by that's not right is spiraling down for you. So I see you being stretched currently. Some areas you're moving up, and when it comes to your spiritual growth and evolution and who you are. And then there's some areas where you're just constantly being dragged down into the pits of hell. It's kind of that's what they're saying, right? And they want you to reflect upon that in the month of April. It's not something that would have come up otherwise, but they definitely want you to reflect upon when you're hearing these truths, throughout the month April and so on and so forth. And like it's like that truth hits you. Oh my God, wow, that's the truth. But what I thought was all of this all along. How do I, um, it's not like how do I put these two truths together? Because I think that's actually what you're trying to do. It's what is it? How do I repurpose, realign, rewire what this truth means with everything I thought I knew? And it's going to help you release what isn't right, and it's going to help you start to build upon a stronger structure that will help you. And they're showing me staircase, like you're going to take these steps and you're going to be moving up. So they want you to take a look at that. It feels like there is resistance though when you're hearing really, 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 and these are like they're saying that these are truths that they're undeniable. They are just not. You don't want to accept. But it's interesting. Now they want to switch gears and tell you what the cost of that is, because the spiral downwards again is making your life horrible, right? A spiral upwards makes your life greater. So it's important that you get like there's a cost. And if you want to pay that cost, that's fine, right? But I don't think that you're consciously making that choice that you want to pay a cost to believe something that is not true so that your life can be horrible. And they're kind of emphasizing for you to not be too attached, form too many opinions around specific things, allow that to be released. This took me a while. This step that you're on or what you need to focus on. It took me a long time to figure out, right? The moment I detached from what I thought I knew, I was able to receive the purest information possible. It's actually real nice and real beautiful, but very difficult to do. And you're not going to conquer it in April, right? Maybe not even in May, but if you work on this, you will get it. And that's what they're saying. This is really gonna there. It's like this really gonna create that expansion that you're in search of. It feels like spiritual evolution is important to you, or evolution that's good. I know that people call it spiritual evolution, but spirituality, it's like it's not one thing. Spirituality is just what makes you happy, what's going to bring you that abundance that you seek. Basically, that's that conscious life is a spiritual life. You're becoming more conscious, and you want to make choices that lead to the happiness that you're looking for, the abundance that you're looking for. But there's that limiting these belief systems that you have, and they're truths or something like that. This could have worked or felt like truth in the past, but it needed to be truth to get you to put one foot in front of the other. It's no longer useful. So don't form too much opinions around that. Release it and keep walking forward. Okay. Sorry, like my nose is low running. Everyone. Okay. What else for Libra? Some of you, this is tied to the fact that you've told other people about this. There is this fear of being found out. There is this fear. Oh no. Well, yes, I guess it can be this as well. But some of you may have said this truth to other people. Um, you may have said something that used to be true that's not true now, but you don't want to backtrack on that because you feel I don't know, whatever feeling you're feeling with that. They're saying no one remembers, no one cares. Do you, right? That they're point blank on that one. But they also said that some of you are around people, places, and things, or people, I guess. Yeah, maybe things as well. Why not? That say what whatever that was, right? So are all these people that are thinking and believing this, are all of them wrong and you have a truth that's right? If your heart's saying yes, then it's yes. Again, that truth may be just temporary to get you to put one foot in front of the other, but that's the truth in which you need to live by until it no longer works or doesn't serve you. But they're not saying that it's gonna it's gonna be dismissed. In fact, I feel like you're ready for that actual truth. In fact, you've been hearing it at times. Um, but there is this feeling here where it's like everybody else is wrong and I'm the one that's right, or I'm the one that knows this, or something like that. It's something like this, where you have this resistance there because everybody else is convinced. Um, this idea or this belief is the right belief. It's really difficult, right? Some of you, this is coming from friends, maybe coworkers, peers, maybe community ties of some kind. I don't know, family. The truth is, right, that your truth is right for you, kind of thing. But I also feel that it actually is the truth. And I know that it might be difficult to tell people that, right, because they believe something else. But it's interesting. They're saying there is a need for you to be more organic when you are having these communications with people. I feel like you have, I think it could be, I don't know how conscious you are of this. I think you're actually conscious of it. You might limit what you tell people or what you say to it's like you're tailoring it to the person you're speaking to, because you know what they believe, rather than saying what you feel in your heart you should say in that present moment. Does that make sense? And I'm not sure how this is playing out for you. So let's say your spiritual evolution is like here, and you have someone who's not spiritual. No, it's interesting. I had an experience with this, I think 2 days ago. This person, and over the summer I had met them, and they had bad allergies, and I was having really bad allergies, right? And I couldn't breathe at night. And we had talked about that. And she asked me when I saw her 2 days ago, um, how are your allergies? And I gotten rid of them. I figured out how to get rid of them, right? And I had this feeling in my heart that says you should just tell her you used Archangel Raphael to do it, but I didn't. And that they're kind of reminding me of that for you, where you have these experiences where it's like you can just ask them to do this, or this is how I did it, and it's like it seems off or weird to say, but in reality, whatever comes organically, you need to let that flow. So I had that experience. I learned from that, and I'm like, next time I'll just gonna say it's Archangel Raphael, right? Booyah, right there, right? All you gotta do is call him in. He will help you with your allergies, and so I didn't do that time, and I learned and I readjusted and I looked at that. Why didn't I say that? Healed whatever's blocking that or keeping me from expressing that, and now I won't have a block next time. At least hopefully, if I fall beneath my what I desire for myself, I have to go back and heal again. Normal, easy peasy, right? But I'm gonna constantly readjust. I feel like there's experiences that you're having that are like that, where you're not being as organic as you want. In fact, I feel like you're tailoring yourself. I feel like you're probably putting hands over your mouth, obviously on a figurative sense, and not expressing everything that you have. Right? Someone came into your life. That person could really use um, Archangel Raphael. I actually sent Archangel Raphael for her after. Right? When I saw her, I was like, "Can you just fix her allergies?" So, I mean, I did that, I guess, but that wasn't enough. That wasn't what I was meant to learn. I could obviously have been sending archangels to people to heal them for a while. I have angelic healing, but the experience was me to learn that I had limited myself to a certain extent when I was talking to someone, and I feel like this is something that you're doing regularly, kind of often, and you do need to reflect upon that, because that's not your most authentic truth. That's not your authenticity and its completeness. And it's not that you're not always authentic. Um, it's just when those times when you're missing that bar. Mm, very juicy. Is there any other guidance that you have for Libra? I feel your for April, they're saying, and it's not. I don't know how big of an issue this is going to be for April. 'Cause they haven't really been giving me predictions. So what's the point? If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. That's what they told me. But they would have said, this is something you can focus on. But they gave yours. I think that you have trouble standing in truth around people. In fact, I feel like you have trouble. It's not like, I guess, and it's not like having a spine. It's not like that. But I feel like you tend to falter at times when it comes to standing in your truth around people who may think differently. And for the month of April, this will be really important for you to learn to stand in that truth, even when you have naysayers. And that's hard. That's hard. Don't think like I don't get it. Obviously, I just told you that I have I'm working it out myself currently. But they're saying the month of April, that'll be really important for you to work through. That will really help you. They're saying that's going to benefit you in the future, like greatly, being able to do that. And it won't just apply to your spiritual beliefs, it will apply to everything. That's the point. And you won't falter anymore. You'll have strong roots. And this will also help you plant stronger roots, is what they're saying. It will help with your grounding, is what they're saying. That's what, yeah, it's like they're saying it's going to help with your grounding too, right? This, like, if you were to fit this in April, heal what's keeping you from doing this, um and learn to, it's like it's interesting because it might hurt at first, but it will hurt less and less and less every time it happens, to the point where you know not to let it phase you. That's what they're saying. And they're saying that it's such a crucial step for you, Libra. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. My voice is like going. I want to thank you, Libra, for being here. Don't forget to like and comment and watch your entire chart. That view duration helps me out a lot. I don't know if you can hear my cat playing with their toy. It's a little. Anyway. Don't forget to check out my services. Like, comment, and take care. Bye, Libra. Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to my channel. My name is Edgar Mendez, and today we're going to be focusing on getting your April reading. If you didn't catch the intro, I'm a little bit sick, by the way, so if my voice is what it is, I want to remind you all to don't forget to like and comment and watch your entire chart, your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus, especially that north node. That view duration really, really benefits me, okay? And yeah, let's take a look here, Scorpio, at your energy. Kuan Yin, Saint Germain, and Metatron. Can we get Scorpio energy coming through? Oh, did I forget not to say? Did I forget to say not to? Did I forget to say to like and comment? I don't know if I did say that, but that does help too. Okay, Scorpio energy. There is a little bit of anger beneath your surface. I feel like you are experiencing it when you are easily triggered. No, maybe triggered to a point of you can't help it. And I don't. I'm trying to see what they're trying to say about this, but they're saying that it's deep. There is a deep-seated anger within you. There's interesting. They're saying they're gonna give me a transmission to heal this soon. They haven't given it to me yet, but to heal the deep-seated anger, that's what they're saying. But you, Scorpio, you have a deep-seated anger within you. Some of yous is real on the surface, but most of yous, about half, I think, right? It's deeper, right? And it comes out when you are really frustrated, really angry. Normally for me, like it's a bunch of stuff that adds up in a day that just sets me off. It just, you know what I mean? Like it's like that. But they're saying that you have this within you. And for the month of April, there is a need for you to make that conscious choice that you don't want to embody that anger anymore. That's what they're saying. Um, so you'll be ready for that transmission that I'm going to get, is what they're saying as well. But they're emphasizing that it's deep. I also feel, because it's not always there, because society wise it's perceived as normal, right? You might think that this isn't a problem, is what they're saying. And they're saying yes, it absolutely is. And I know that we sometimes look at these standards that we think are high standards about peace and love and tolerance. They're not high standards. They're so easy for us to embody if we're willing to heal what's keeping us from doing that, right? And the Metatron Quantity and Saint Germain are emphasizing a need for you to really reflect upon making that conscious choice that you are tired of these, like the outbursts, um, triggers and stuff like that. That you need to say no more, right? And you need to heal what needs to be healed. They're saying that the transmission will heal the actual core. It won't heal the surrounding areas. So you have to work on that. Is what they're saying. But you have to be willing to understand that this is an unacceptable um, response for the person that you're trying to be, which is someone who is embodying love, fertility, compassion, someone who doesn't judge, right? It's stuff like this. Like there's this yearning within your soul that wants to embody the purest form of love. And you can't with the rage, is what they're saying. So what does one do? That's what they're saying. What does one do? That's what they're saying to me. Right? Heal and say that you're tired of that rage. No more. No more. You need to make that choice, to set that intention with the beings of light's help, your angels, your ancestors, and your guides, and they will help you with that. So you can say it right now, pause it, and then watch the entire video, obviously, eventually. But they're saying, pause it and make that request right now that I want to be done with anger. I also have an anger and rage contract, by the way, in the description section if you are interested in that. That will help a lot. Is what they just gave that. But you need to make that conscious choice that you don't want to embody that anymore. It's like it's like they're saying that's so important for you to be like, no, because it separates your energy, your pure energy of pure love, from that negative low vibrational energy that's not yours, right? Your core, which is the purest part of us, right? It loves unconditionally, but that energy that's surrounding your core, it is it's the part that it's making you feel ragey at times. And it's not like it's a lot. I see this happening maybe every couple of weeks, something like that, and you might excuse it or something like that, and they're saying no. And like this is just the last little hurdle you have to do, and you will be able to learn to embody that. And it feels like you are seeking this, though. It doesn't feel like you're like, whew, um um you're just walking around about your life not thinking that you want to better yourself. No, you've somehow, actually not somehow, you've made the choice that you want to better yourself. And they're reminding you that this is one of the areas you can better yourself in, right? Even though it may be less than it used to be, it's still not where it can be, is what they're saying. And they're not saying, oh yeah, shame on you. No, 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 right? But they're saying it's like sometimes our mind looks at that and thinks, oh, this is it. And Madison Kwani and St. Jimmy are saying no. Sorry, it's funny. Saying no, there's a little bit more to go. Okay, that's what they're saying. You think you're at the finish line. You're not. There's just a little bit more to go, is what they're saying. Most of you just have a little bit more. Some of you have a lot. It's okay. Keep going, right? But any kind of like rage, is what they're saying. It's something that you need to reject, right, and heal. That's what they're saying. They're emphasizing that really clear. And again, there's that rage contract I have, by the way. But it's not the transmission that they're going to give me. They're saying about a month. Sorry, I'm so sick, everyone. They're saying in about a month they'll give it to me, so we'll see how I release that. What else do you have for Scorpio? Okay, they are bringing up how this is affecting your life. This is interesting. They are bringing up downward spirals, right? When we're spiraling downwards, we are in a low trajectory, right? And our life gets harder. A lot of people spiral down, by the way. But when we become more conscious, we spiral up, right? You are spiraling upwards, is what they're saying, but you're also, because of that rage and anger, you're spiraling downwards too. There's something here. Like, hold on, there's something here, right here. But your spirals up never reach that. Does that make sense? And they're saying it's keeping you from something because you keep going down. Like it's like, and then you have to spiral all the way back up, and then again, it's like I don't know what kind of cycle you're in for some of you, but they're emphasizing that there is something that you need to reach, that you're gonna get something here. I don't know what that means, but they're bringing this up for a reason, and they're saying that it's something that you're gonna have. It could be, they're calling in activation for you, and unlocking for you. Some of you, if you're looking for more abundance, and that's actually what I got as the very first message, you need to hit this. Sorry. Oh, damn. You need to hit it. It's what sorry, I have like cat hair everywhere. But they're saying that it's like it's up there. So every time you downward spiral, you're regressing a little bit, and then you're going back up, and but you haven't. It's like they're calling it like, when a car is trying to go up a hill, but it can't quite get up there. Yeah, that's what they're saying. You're not light enough, basically, right? Love and light is what they're referring to now, right? So they're saying you're not rising to that milestone because you're not light enough to. That the negative low vibration energy is heavy and it's dragging you down. They said it's dragging your ass down. That's what they said. But anyway, let's see. What else do you have to say about that or anything else that you want to say to Cancer, or not Cancer, to Scorpio? Maybe if you have Cancer placements, do check that out. I normally don't make slips like that, so I will take that how that resonates. Scorpio. They want to switch gears now. They said theirs is gonna consist of three things they want to focus on. Let's get the second one. There is a pessimist energy coming through really strongly here, that I feel like you still engage in. They're calling it like a program, of pessimism, of downward spiraling of your mind, where you tend to you're trying to overcome this, and they are saying that you are trying to fight this. You're fighting that good fight. You are winning battles, but you're not winning the war. Is what they're saying. So they want to help with this. I think we'll see. Let's see what they say. I may have jumped the gun there, but they're saying that you have these negative spirals, these negative Nelly thoughts, and you have a really difficult time sometimes or all the time keeping yourself from engaging with that. And they're calling it a program. What do you have to say about that, Quanian, Saint Germain, and Metatron? There is a way to stop it. They're saying that you would need to work with your angels, your ancestors, and your guides to assist you with this process to keep you from engaging with those negative thought patterns. That's the most important thing. It's like the very first thing is setting the intention that you don't want to do that anymore. And again, some of you might be looking at your negative thought patterns and think they're not as bad. So logically, you're thinking you're done, or that everyone hits this, or everyone this is as far as you go. I'm at the finish line, and they're saying no. No baby, no baby, right? There's more. And they're saying if you want to complete it, fully complete it, get rid of this in its entirety, there is a way. And for you to work with the beings of light, they're saying that it is an ancestor that will help the most, is what they're saying, because I see them, an ancestor pulling you back to one of their starseed roots. I don't know where your ancestors are from exactly, but they're saying that they're going to call you back to their home planet. And there's a machinery there that will help with the program, help you release it. It's something about, they're referencing Earth's grid or something like that. I don't know. It's what they're saying. So they're going to bring you back to the starseed roots that your ancestors are from, and they're going to remove this from you and help you no longer engage. Oh, I see. They gave me a piece of it. I think for this will be for most of you, they're going to plug you into the starseed grid, which has different stuff, so that you can offset some of that negative programming from Earth's grid, because Earth grid has a lot of negative programs in it. I mean, it's real tragic here, isn't it? Right? I don't know if you know that, but it's quite tragic up in Earth. But they're saying that they will plug you into that, and oh, I see. They're going to plug you into that, deprogram you, and then upload the better program so that you can actually have. And they're referencing that you're going to bring in the starseed energy from wherever your ancestors are from to Earth, into Earth's grid, and you're going to help remove programs from people that you come into contact with, and people that cross your paths in some way, shape, or form. Very interesting. I might do a guided meditation for it if I get the transmission for it, but they are saying that you can just simply ask that. Your angels, your ancestors, and your guides, and your ancestors going to be the ones to do it. So beautiful. That's actually really, really helpful for you, especially for those that are at the tail end. If you're they're saying even if you're at the beginning stages where you have most of your programs up and running, they can remove those too. You don't have to live that way, is what they're saying. You're entitled to be free. But you need to ask, that you don't want to have those negative Nelly spirals, and it feels like you're fighting them, and you have help, is what they're saying, and help that you're not using. So they ended it there. So what is the last thing you want to bring up for Scorpio? I almost said Taurus, by the way. So if you have Taurus placements, do check that out. I'm sorry, that's funny. Scorpio. What last thing do you have for their April reading? They're saying to never give up and never stop trying. I don't know if there's something in your life that you're having a very little success with, but they are referencing that really strongly. Don't give up. Don't stop trying. Oh, I see. If you were to get help with those two things that they brought up already, you would find it a lot easier not to give up, is what they're saying. But they're saying in general, don't give up. Don't stop trying. I don't know what kind of cycle you're in, but they are bringing that up again, where I see you constantly getting knocked down. Does that make sense? Like someone's pushing you, and then you're getting up and you stand again, and they push you. You're getting up and you stand again, and they push you, and it's like this repetitious thing happening, and you're tired of standing up just to get pushed. That's what they're saying. And they really want to emphasize, Don't stop. One of these days, you're gonna stay up when they push you. And obviously this is figurative, I imagine, unless it's actually real. Then there you go, right? But it feels like it's figurative for most of you. It's like this idea that there's something that you're trying to make some headway in. There's something that you're trying to have success in, but you keep getting knocked down and you're sick of it. But they're saying stop trying to give up. Don't you dare, right? Kind of thing. And they're saying it's not character building is what they're saying. It's just a kind of an effed up type situation, but they're saying that it won't always be this way. You can also ask the angels, ancestors, and guides to help with that, whatever that is. I usually, when I have I have a long-standing issue myself, and every other day or every time I feel called to, I ask for help with that, and then slowly but surely they're trying to figure it out and work it out. So always understand that your requests are heard. It doesn't mean they're always going to get answered in that hot minute. So you can ask them, but again, they're referencing keep getting up, even though you keep getting knocked down. Um, this has come through slightly for another reading about an attachment to positive feedback as a way to keep going. You may want to look at that, especially if you have I don't know what sign that came in from, but they reference that a little bit here where it's like that. You have this attachment. So when you see good results, it motivates you, but you need to find a way to motivate yourself even when you're not seeing those good results, because then you won't ever give up, right? That's what they're really emphasizing. Like, that's it. They said bullseye right there, right? I think that's it. I think that's it. I'm gonna leave it there, Scorpio. I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for all the time you share with me. Please don't forget to like and comment and watch your entire chart. That view duration does wonders. Like, I'm not joking for me. And yeah, don't forget to check out my services and take care. Bye. Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to my channel. My name is Edgar Mendez, and I want to thank you for being here. I'm so glad you're here. Please don't forget to like and comment. And today we're going to be focusing on April readings. All right. I also want to remind you all to watch your entire chart, your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus, especially that north node. That view duration really does wonders for me. I'm not joking. Really does. So I do appreciate when you watch more of it. All right. Yeah, and let's get started here. So, can I get Sagittarius, Quanian Saint Gemini Metatron? What do you have to say for Sagittarius? Sagittarius is April reading. I almost said April Fools. Maybe you have something planned there, but it really does feel like something's gonna happen on April Fools. Oh, I'm gonna bring this up in the intro. But I am doing distant traveling and universal traveling on April 1st. So if you're interested in that, where we go and we do healing, we also do other activations and stuff like that. It's always organic, so I don't actually know what we do until we do it. But that's a really, really powerful thing, or you get enhancements and stuff like that. Last time we got really big earrings that help. Actually, it's how I'm able to channel now and hear the beings of light without drawing tarot. So I got the earrings; they're real nice, by the way. But if you want to join, do check that out, okay? And again, it'll be out April 1st. All right, so let's see. Can I get Sagittarius' energy? I feel like you're trying to be optimistic when life's kind of got you down a little bit. I feel like you keep getting kicked. It's something interesting. I ended Scorpio's reading with that message just a little bit, but it's not the same thing, not the same energy. But it just feels like you there's something in your life, and that's kind of I've actually had this multiple times, but there's something in your life, you Sagittarius, where it's like a little it could be a lot better. I feel like you're trying to maintain optimism, you're trying to maintain positivity, you're trying to maintain a forward positive outlook, right? You know, you're trying to do what you think is best, right? In terms of facing the situation. They are referencing that it's not helpful as helpful as you think it's going to be. Sorry, I got like oh, it's this little booger. But they're referencing like it's like the solution is right beneath you, right? If you were to look down, it's kind of like if you just I've got this imagery like for another sign, where it's like where you look at something and you're kicking it and you're kind of ruminating about it, making yourself feel like Five of Cups energy, right? They're saying that that Five of Cups energy, right? Of you looking and crying over spilt milk helps you find solutions at times. I'm sorry, this is hilarious. I mean, these reads are crazy, and they kind of want you to not be so quick to think that negative emotions or you having a negative type of experience is necessarily the wrong approach. Does that make sense? So you something bad happens, you feel bad about it. It's okay to look at it. It's okay to mull it over, essentially, right? It's okay to ruminate enough so that you can find the truth that could be there. And they're saying that it's like there's nuggets of truth in that. Maybe just one, maybe two, maybe three, but it's something that you wouldn't discover if you didn't look, right? And it's that energy though of you kind of feeling sorry or regretful or annoyed at what's happened. But you don't want to look at that. You want to be positive is what they're saying. You want to have that positive outlook, and that does help you. And they're saying that that's something that's wrong. But when your heart's saying we should really look at that, then you'll look at it basically, right? And they're emphasizing that there's more truth. It's like if you have like we learn from failure is not success, right? It's like that, and failure is a part of success. How? Because we learn from it. It's like you're this positive outlook that you're having, and they're calling it glowing, like glowing optimism. Really is words. Like, I swear, is what they're saying, right? It's great, but it kind of leads you to overlook things that you would be useful for you when facing a similar type of situation, so that you don't have the same results. And they're emphasizing a loving that you have this positive outlook. More people need it per se, right? But don't completely discredit ruminating about spilt milk. Sorry, it's so funny, but it's the truth. It's like don't regret it. Don't think it's the wrong approach. In fact, there you can learn from that experience, right? What did I do wrong to for that milk to spill, right? That's the kind of thing that you can find with the nuggets of truth that you could be digging for. So they're just giving that as some just to help you kind of set the record straight, is what they're saying. So okay, what else do you have for Sagittarius for the viewers? Sagittarius, um, all right, they're referencing the spiritual connection. This is the first time I've got a message like this. But yours is the messages have been very different. They're referencing a spiritual connection that you have. They're in some ways referencing what you've done when it comes to that in regards to that spiritual connection. You maintain a positive outlook. Some of you might be overlooking some truths that this connection can teach you because you're trying to be positive about the future. And that's what they're saying, right? They're saying just make sure that you're not overlooking something that you're meant to learn there. But I feel there is this weird energy or this weird approach to how you might look down on the person that you feel like you have a spiritual connection with. Could be an ex, I suppose, but you've made all this progress, you've made all this growth, you've had this, and they're calling it like this rocket trajectory up, right? Um, but right, you look at them and where they are, and you're not impressed by it, basically. I feel like this connection or you looking at them, for you to open yourself up to that compassionate state is going to be a really, really big growing experience for you. And they really want to emphasize that. I do feel you judge this person. The judgment is coming from, they're saying the subconscious, right? A part of your subconscious that is mad at them still, right? But there is a slight judgment there. Like they'll never better themselves. They still think this. I don't know. It just feels like it's something along those lines, and they're referencing that connection and all the other connections where this happens, and where you need to learn to open yourself up to the compassion, because that's our true essence, right? Love, not judgment. And especially if you want to further your goals and reach, and they're calling it the stratosphere or something. I don't know. This requires you looking at them, everyone who is, they're calling it beneath you. That's what they're saying. It's just what they're giving me, with compassion and understanding, and a place of unconditional love. All right. And it's not easy. I don't know. They're saying that it's coming from a part of yourself that you haven't addressed. That's what they're saying. Most people, I don't know, I say most people have this problem or not. I'm not saying that, but they're saying that it's just it's a piece of your subconscious that judges them and other people. All right, I had to pause it. Like my nose is just so runny. Anyway, but yes, that's what they're saying. Is there anything else on that you want to bring up? They said no. It's just they were tying that in to just help you understand that more, so you can work on it in April. Let's see, what else do you want to give for April for Sagittarius? It's like they honestly the readings have been like to do lists. Like you should try doing this, or this will be so helpful for you in the coming months, right? If you were to master this or strive towards this. So it is what it is. It's not predictions. It's April readings. Anyway, what do you else do you have to say for April for Sagittarius? Sorry, they're like shuffling through. He's Metatron's looking over the other signs. What do you have to say for now for Sagittarius? All right, this has to do with your own standards for yourself. Um, you have a habit of achieving heights that you once thought would be so amazing to achieve, right? You've been doing this and you've been doing it regularly is what they're saying, right? Where you've it's like a year ago where what did you think was possible versus what you think is possible now, right? Or what a year ago what did you achieve versus what or have you achieved now, right? They're referencing this really clearly, right? And they're bringing this up, and it's not that you shouldn't have this ambition, but it feels like there is a slight negative spiral when it comes to holding yourself up to impeccably high standards, and and you tend to look down on yourself when you don't achieve those impeccably high standards. So they would really like you to reflect upon that in the month of April, how you're doing this to yourself and how that is actually hurting you in the end, right? They're saying that it is tied to your attachment to time. That's what they said. You feel like you only have so much time to do stuff, so you're constantly trying to push yourself. And it's not that the pushing yourself is necessarily bad. They're not saying bad or good per se, but they're emphasizing um, like the fact that you're achieving these massive milestones, not having any gratitude when you do it, and then setting the bar exceedingly high yet again, and then trying to chase after that. And it's not like stop and smell the roses. It's just there is a need for you to have more gratitude for what you've done and what you know. And I don't know what you've achieved that you thought, oh my god, I would just love to do that. I don't know what this is, but it feels like you've done something like that, and it's you've reached it, and it was like meh, right? Because goals actually aren't all that impressive. What's impressive or what brings us fulfillment is a journey. Who knew? Everyone, but um, it feels like that's what they want you to focus on is enjoying the process a little bit more and not holding yourself up to these incredibly high standards. And they're okay with you raising the bar, but they don't want you to like, beat yourself up when you don't reach it. Which seems to be a problem. Is what they're saying. It's like they said disaster. I know it sounds strange, but they said that. Okay. Is there anything else about this? It's just like it's kind of like a warning. I feel like this might lead you to disaster. Is what they say. They're saying. Oh, that's interesting. It might lead you to a disaster that you don't need to go through. Um, to learn that lesson the hard way, or you can learn it without having to walk into that karmic cycle. Very beautiful. You'll normally get like a little warning before you walk into a karmic cycle, or maybe you're in it and it'll help you close it out right away. But they gave that as like it just feels like you're just these you're not appreciating the things you've done. Essentially, I've had this come through a couple times and even in private readings, and I told people just having a gratitude for at least 1 minute for what you've done a day. That's massive. It will create a massive shift in your life over like a month. Don't think no, it will be a big shift, but they're emphasizing that it's just not there. You don't appreciate what you've done. You just don't. And it's interesting because guess what? You're not appreciating, not the milestone itself. You, right? You're the one who achieved it. Not the milestone was always there. You achieved something. Who are you not thanking for that? Yourself. It's interesting. That's what they said. He's like, who do you think? It's like all this work has been done, and who doesn't get that thank you? Ooh, that's so crazy. Anyway, is there any guidance that you have for Sagittarius or anything else you want to say to Sagittarius? He said yes. Okay, this is strange. It, again, is going with the optimism, pessimism kind of thing, but they're talking about pessimism now. I feel you have at times a lot of negative people around you that are constantly trying to give you their negativity. Um, I'm not sure how this is coming across. It's probably usually it would be through offhand comments, right? You have to be willing to take it in. And I know that it sounds crazy, but you reading a comment that is negative, you you have given permission to accept that. So let's say you're listening to someone and you're choosing to hear them because you can listen but not hear. You've accepted their negative energy and you've taken it into yourself. Does that make sense? I didn't know this until they just gave this to me. But they're saying this is happening um, kind of a lot for you when it comes to family, friends, and maybe coworkers, maybe randos across around the street, maybe on the internet. But they're emphasizing that when you, it's like, and they're specifically giving it when you're reading it. Um, that one's the worst than hearing it because we usually have shields on. That's what they're saying. But when we read it, we take it in. There's no filter. That's what they're saying. So they're saying when you read something, it's the worst. Sorry, just like that congestion. But they are bringing that up as something to really reflect upon and look at, where you're giving permission to let people's negativity enter your four lower bodies. So they want you to look upon that and start to, it's like filter, I suppose. I don't know. Hold on. What are you saying here about that? There's no possible way to always filter that, is what they're saying. But you having awareness as like this is hitting you or this is affecting you or this is doing this to you, right? Um, will help you not put yourself through that as often. And that's hurting you more than you realize because you're taking in a lot of that they're heavy energy, right? Love and light means to be light and baggage, right? Light as a feather. Negative energy is heavy, heavy like a rock, right? So you're kind of ingesting rocky type energy. Sorry, everyone. I just a little booger. Anyway, but they just wanted to give that as like your kind of like a little bit of a um just for your FYI for your information. But I'm gonna leave it there, Sagittarius. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing time and space with me. Please don't forget to like and comment and watch that entire chart. That view duration does me so much good. And check out my services and take care. Bye, Sagittarius. Hi, Capricorn. Welcome to my channel. My name is Edgar Mendez, and I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for sharing time and space with me. If you didn't catch the intro, I am sick. I've gotten progressively sick as I've been doing the readings. I had to take a break. So I'm back at it. I really do want to release this earlier than later, because it is an April reading, and that's what we're focusing on is April. So I didn't know what we would get for it, but they have been really interesting readings. Please don't forget to like and comment and check out your entire chart. That sun, that moon, that rising, that Venus, especially that north node. That view duration helps me out so much. I also want to remind you all that I do have a lot of services if you are interested in that. Okay, so let's see. Capricorn, right? Um, Kuan Yin, Saint Gemini, Metatron, what do you have to say to Capricorn for or about the month of April? It's kind of been honestly all over the place, which I love. It's just everything's different. I feel it's not something that would have come up necessarily in the month of April, but it's something that should, is what they're saying. And I feel like this is in relation to your career or um job opportunities and stuff like that. I don't know what you are currently doing for job opportunities and stuff like this, but they're emphasizing that there's a better path for you than the one that you are currently walking. It feels like there is a lot of lack within you or that perception of you lack something, you lack faith is what it's kind of like they're saying that that's the hallmark. I don't get what they're saying with that one, but they're saying like the hallmark one. But it's like that's the one I feel is the faith part, but there's also lacks of other kind that are perpetuating whatever cycle you're currently on when it comes to your career. Some of you, let's say you started your own business, you're not making bank because there's a lack thing there, right? So however this is playing out for you, however this is playing out for you, you got to deal with the lack. I know it's so annoying, right? Um, I know that we sometimes see people and they feel all this success, and we look at that success, and we don't really see all the work that went into it. And it's really annoying, and I know, and I don't think I don't get this, right? But in reality there's so much work and energy went into that person's success. And a lot of it has to do with the internal work. So they really are emphasizing for you to not overlook the parts of you that have lack, because that lack is going to keep manifesting in your reality. Remember this always, right? The universe is constantly trying to prove you right. So if you believe it's you're not going to be successful, the universe is going to keep proving you right. That's the point, right? So if you really want to, work on that lack, and then you start to believe in yourself just as a natural occurrence because, well, you healed, then you're going to start to have more and more favorable outcomes. But there is something specific about a career path that you're on, and it's being affected by lack. That's what they wanted to say. A lot of yous, though, it feels like you're not in the right career, and there's something else that you would like for yourself, but you don't think that you would have success there. It's hard to say though, but they that was the first energy that I received. But then they said, it even applies to those who have their own business, and you're like, why am I not achieving success here? Is lack, right? I also feel happiness is a factor as well. You're not happy where you are in terms of your career, and they're saying it's bumming you out, right? It's like this thing that you kind of want to avoid. It is what it is. Oh God, I forgot what this feels like a long time ago. Where it's like it's just something you just don't want to think about. I don't want to think about it. Don't think. It's like that Rick and Morty quote. Don't think about it, right? That's the energy there. So a lot of you may just keep working, working, working. You're just not thinking about it. Or maybe you're unemployed. Who knows, right? But there is something like this where you just don't want to think about it. But there is a need to think about it, and it's not like because there isn't amazing solutions for you. There absolutely is amazing solutions, but there's a part of you that just doesn't want to deal. The only way for you to get through this is to deal with it, and make your way through it. Let me see what they have to say for guidance on how to persevere from this. They are bringing up my morning mantra. I think this is the second time I've gotten the morning mantra suggestion. So I'm gonna put it in the comment or description section. If I don't put it, just leave me a comment and I will put it. I never remember these things, but the morning mantra, because they showed me asking for the hand of the angels on your heart and on your head, um, and they guide you towards stuff. That's going to be really beneficial for you. It's not always, actually, no. When it comes to the angels, it's always positive for some reason. It's just how they do. But they lead you to like really, really abundant opportunities. And it's like I don't know how to explain this, but let's say you're at a path and you're like, I don't know if to go left or right. The angels will touch your heart and say, hey, let's go right, trust us, right? And you'll just know. So they said that morning mantra will be helpful for you, because the angels will touch your heart with their hands. Sorry, I heard grubby hands, whatever. With their hands, at those points in time when you need it, because that's a defining point in your life, isn't it? Right? That choice. This is kind of what it's in some ways related to divine timing, right? That choice that you have. So you have that choice of what choice you're gonna make, right? And you can make a good or a bad choice for yourself, and the angels will lead you to the better one. So there is that's what they gave us the first suggestion. What else do you have for them? The other one is connecting to your higher self, but how they showed it to me was for you to use a pendulum and ask the higher self this. I'm not sure how your connection with your higher self actually is. You can just simply connect to it without the pendulum. However, if you've not worked with your higher self before, it takes time. But they're saying for you to use a pendulum to ask the higher self yes or no, or maybe or neutral. I would never choose something if I'm getting a neutral. I just put that out there. I wouldn't. I always go for that yes, or at least a good, mostly yes as you can possibly get. But I wouldn't go like making a big life choice and get a neutral answer. Like hell no, no, I won't do it. So you do you, but I just put that. I want to put that out there for you. But they emphasize a pendulum swing. asking though the higher self, not your guides. They're not the best for that. For most questions, actually, in terms of what you should do, because that's why beings of light don't really tell you what you should do. Um, but the higher self will be able to help you with this because they know how things will play out really easily. So, and I also know what karmic cycles you're in. I know that how all these different variables will affect you, and understand what's going to have the best outcome. And the best outcome may not be what you think it's going to be, but it will be the best outcome nonetheless. Okay. But again, they said a pendulum swing with the higher self. Is there anything else on that? They want to switch gears now. So can I get what else do you have for Capricorn? I'm getting for those of you that want children, or you could have children. It kind of hit and miss there. It was like it could. I guess it can be either. So we'll see what that means. There is a fear for those of you that are looking to have more children or you have children. And this is referencing the first part. So let's say you have a job and you have children to think about, right? Or you are thinking about starting your own business, but then you're like, I want to have kids. And make sure you really desire that. Obviously, you should, you know what I mean? Like, want is not that strong of a word, but you do you. But they're referencing the first part of what they just brought up to the kids part. So some of you have kids, some of you want kids, whatever the case is, right? They're saying that your hearts, your higher self, everyone will consider what you desire for yourself when determining what advice and guidance they should give you. Does that make sense? Let's say the hand of the angels, they're gonna tell you, hey, this is the right path for you, right? And they're gonna consider the fact that you do want kids. And I know that it may appear logically like it's longer. I know that it may appear like you're not likely to have, let's say, kids, or maybe you're gonna have to quit a job and go down this path that your heart and the angels are leading you to, and it's like, oh my god, I have kids to worry about, right? Whatever the case is, they would not be like missing this. They're not gonna be like, oh, I didn't know this. I didn't know this. They had kids. I didn't know they had kids. And it's like, no, of course they do. So when they're giving you the suggestion, it's like they mean what they say. And it feels like this is again where it was talking about rooting yourself in more faith. Um, some of you may have like health issues, right? Where it's like losing coverage or something like that. They will obviously know that. And I know that it seems scary to take that leap of faith from that heart, but that's the only way we get to the happiness that we're looking for. We're not, sorry, not sticking to our comfort zone because that's what you've been doing, right? One second, give a little bit of this. Matcha and honey. Okay. But that's what they're bringing up really strongly, and it's to know that they mean business and they want to give you the best possible life possible. And I know it's really scary, especially because of how this world freaking works and how everyone's like, you need to be level headed and practical. I understand that. But you're not like everyone else, nor should you try to live your life like everyone else. And it's about time that you start to live your life the way that your heart knows you should be living it, and in a much better way. And it's going to lead to a lot more success. And in fact, I think that you've been living your life in that practical, logical sense. It has not reaped the rewards you were looking for anyway. And this is in and of itself. I guess you're going to keep getting more of the same if you keep doing the same thing, right? So they're saying when you get that that push, that this is something that would be undeniable. It's not that you don't recognize that calling, right? It's not that you don't recognize that pull. It's not that you don't recognize that inspiration. You do. You just have too much fear to take it. So they're saying that it's in link to that, whatever, and it's a kid related thing. Some of you, it could be the inner child now they have that whole picture, but I think this is actually about responsibilities in your life in some way, shape, or form. All right, I have to pause it, like my throat. Anyway, um, is there anything else that you want to say on that for Capricorn? This came through when I first got that second message, and it has to do about windows. Like there's a window of opportunity, a gate of opportunity, and it's open. But the gate is only open for so long. And what they're talking about is like energy streams. These are what people refer to as timelines. where it's like the highest timeline. I don't know what people are thinking when they say such things, but it's in some ways they're referencing this part, right? There's an energetic stream that can get you to point A to point B really fast. It's a streamline is how I actually refer to them as, but people call these things timelines. The gate opens up. You're meant to walk through it. You go down that stream. You get quickly to some kind of success or something that can support you, and then you keep going. You keep going. You keep going until you keep ascertaining goals and accomplishments and money and abundance and all that stuff. Right? Prosperity is what they're saying. Those gates don't open for very long. In fact, that stream of energy, um, because so many things have to line up for that, and actually the beings of light have been helping with that, especially with that morning mantra that you will be using. The angels, actually the beings of light as well, because it actually incorporates both. um Actually, angels and beings of light are the same technically, but not all beings of light are angels. But because you're going to be saying that mantra, it's going to open up these pockets. I don't know, it's like they're Metatron, he says that they're like time slips or something like that, where you slip through it really fast. It's like how the Lords of Time do it, where they get you. It's like they can to send you back in time. It's like you're time traveling, but you're pulling the energy from that vast amount of abundance to your present day, and you're gonna use that as to ride that momentum. It's so crazy, but it's what they're saying. So this gate of opportunity, this portal of opportunity, right? These opportunity window, I mean, of opportunity. They open up slow, like it takes them a while to open up, and then when they do, you have to go in. There's a short period of time for you to walk through that window, right? And the message here is, if you're not listening to your heart, well, you're gonna miss it. And there's no point in going and try. There won't be anything to like walk or take a leap towards, right? If you take it too late. So I feel like this has maybe been happening to you, but it's definitely going to happen in the future, right? Where you have these really short periods of time to take a leap, to create success for yourself. And unless you do take that leap at that time, you're not going to have success. It won't be enough to keep you going. Does that make sense? You will have some success as you're putting work in, but it won't be enough. It's like there are times like we're meant to start things, and there's times when we're not, and that's the point. And that's when they give you that calling. It's like it's time to go, and that's what they want to put out there. Okay, is there any guidance that you have for Capricorn? Believe is a guidance that's coming through the most. I feel a lot of you have subconscious belief systems, limiting belief systems that are preventing you from believing in, I feel, for one, how the world actually works, right? Rather than how everyone thinks it works, because the humans are just so far behind. But it's because there's so many people believing in it. You think, well, I'm the right one, yes, right? But it's hard. It's hard, and there's things to start to believe. The only way you're gonna get that proof in the pudding is when you actually do it, and that's their room. That's always been the case for me. And there's been so many times where I wanted to just know everything before I started something, and I know now that it's not until I'm well on the path, right? Do I then learn how to do something? So I'm always doing stuff before I actually know how to do it, and I learn, right? So I'm always trying these new things, and they eventually evolve and grow. So I'm telling you this because a lot of you have something new that you want to start, or something, a new path you want to go down, and you're really worried you don't know everything. And the whole point is that you're not going to until you're like halfway down that path. I know it's so annoying, but they're emphasizing for you to believe more in yourself and believe in the process. Let's see. Some of you have blocks to abundance. I do have a poverty contract, but that is not the kind of that is for your lack. It's a subconscious belief system with lack. So I do have a poverty contract. It's real cheap, by the way. You can get it, but they're not bringing that up. They're saying that some of you have karma blockages from past lives. I do offer an ancestral and Akashic karma clearing. You do have to get it in the Akashic, because of all the beings of light that are necessary for it. But they said that that's for some of you who are experiencing that you've always had trouble with money. It's never flowed properly. There's a block. There's an actual block there. Is what they're saying. So you want to remove these blockages. The beings of light can bypass it temporarily, but it will hit you again. So even like in the time stream, you won't be affected by that block, right? But when you finish it, you will get hit by it. So they're saying that, just be on the lookout for that. Is there any other guidance that you have for them? That's it. They're saying for you to stand in your power. How is this moving? I don't know. To stand in your power, and you got this, okay? So I'm gonna leave it there, Capricorn. And again, I'm so sorry, I'm sick. Please don't forget to like. Please don't forget to comment. Please don't forget to watch that entire chart. Some of my videos I don't sound that bad. So anyway, that view duration does matter to me. And yeah, check out my services and take care. Bye, Capricorn. Hi, Aquarius. Welcome to my channel. My name is Edgar Mendez, and I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for sharing time and space with me. I want to remind you, if you didn't catch the intro, I am sick, and I've gotten worse and worse and worse. And I took like a few days off, and well, here I am. But my voice has not returned. It's so annoying. But yeah, I want to remind you not to forget to like and comment. It does help me out. Also, watching your entire chart, your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus, especially the North Node. The view duration does wonders for me. I cannot stress that enough. And today we're going to be focusing on getting your April reading. So I let Kuan Yin, Saint Gemini, and Metatron determine what they give. It's kind of been up in the air in terms of what they're providing. It hasn't been what I thought it was going to be predictions, but they're like, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So they've been giving like things that would help you in the month of April. So it is what it is. All right. So let's see what they have to say. Aquarius for April. Aquarius for April. Let's see. Connie Stacy mention. What do you have to say? All right. There is a need for you to expand your social circle. I don't know what it's looking like currently. They didn't give it, but it almost felt like there was almost no one. There is a need for you to expand your social circle. Sorry, I had to pause it. Anyway, I was coughing. There is a need to expand your social circle. It feels like it's not big enough. I also feel, especially for those that for your destiny, because I got North Node for a moment. Though that could be a sign to check out your North Node. That's actually where I think it actually is for a lot of yous. But what Metatron, Kuan Yin, Saint Germain are saying is that for your destiny, right? For your purpose, there is a need for you to expand your social circle. I feel like maybe you have old friends that are not qualified to be in your life anymore. They don't resonate with you. It's hard to say, but I think a lot of you don't really have the kind of connection, and a lot of you need that, and that's the point. And it's not like romantic connections per se, though that could be the case, I suppose, but it is definitely connections. You are missing that, and it's part of the purpose. It's going to help you achieve your purpose. It's going to help you be more happier as well. And it's not like I'm entering these connections from a place of need, right? No, you're taking care of you. But you do they do serve a purpose, and it feels like there could be a little bit of detachment there. I think what you've done, um, because you've been growing spiritually, that's what they're telling me. You've separated yourself from the energy of friendship and maybe even connections altogether. So your energy is now separate. So what you need to do is now combine these energies. I don't know how you do that. I'm gonna see what they have to say. How do they combine their energy? How do they connect again? All right. They're saying for you to, in your mind's eye, to put you right here in the energy of friendship and connection right here, and then you're going to create a little energy stream. You can have Archangel Michael assist you with that, and that's going to help connect you. So the desire for friendship is there, but you detached yourself from that feeling, or desire for a relationship is there, but you've detached yourself from that feeling. Does that make sense? You are whether you have these connections in your life or not, you are settling, and you're not supposed to. But since you've detached yourself from the real feeling of it, you don't know that. But most of you, I think you don't have it, and you think you don't want it, or you think it doesn't matter, but it actually matters in a really big effing deal, and that's what they're saying. But it feels like you've just separated yourself from that, and they're referencing against spiritual growth. And it's not that, maybe you've cut people out, and you needed this recluse time. That's normal. It's in fact, they're not saying there was anything wrong with anything, but now it's a time for you to start to step into this they're not even, I guess they are kind of same version of you, but it's a more complete version of you, because although you have gotten into touch with the real you, there is a part of you that really likes to socialize and really likes community. Um, it likes to have good times and fun, and it feels like there's a separation there now. So it's a need for you to reflect upon that and open yourself up more to those types of experiences, and not like you the kind of friends you would go out with and they're boring, or they have low vibrational energies, or it's low vibrational conversation. No, 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 this is not what they're saying. They're saying that there's a specific, specific connections. I'm seeing two. One's immediate, one is maybe a year off, and the other one's like maybe 3 years away, that are so important for you and your evolution, and vice versa for that matter. But you seem to be, you're it's like you're not walking that path, and you're detached from the energy that would actually lead you on that path. It's very interesting. It's like it's not, you should know, I need this in my life. And you should know, even though you don't know what it is exactly, you should know the feeling that you're looking for. But it's like it's none of that's there. It's like you're it's like I'm seeing a portrait, but there's no portrait. Does it make sense? It's like it's just the painting like, I don't know, what is that called? Yeah, portrait. Isn't it a portrait? Right? But there's no painting in it. Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to say. But if I said that wrong, you know what I'm trying to say. And it's like it's just, there's just nothing there. You do need to, there this area of life, um it has a big purpose for you. It does. It has a big purpose for you, but it feels like you forgot. Yeah, yeah, something like that. It's hard to say what's happened here. Um, it kind of feels like you don't need it. No, yeah, no, you kind of feel like you don't need it, but you do. Maybe some people don't. And Metatron's bringing up like Buddhists and stuff like that. Um, I don't know why he brought that up. Yeah, he's saying, that's what he keeps saying. Like like there's some people out there that have come into this world, right? Um, and they don't really need the connection, but you do. Your soul needs it. Does that make sense? But again, you have separated yourself from that energy, and this is actually your soul. Basically, it's a piece of it. And they're saying that you separated yourself from that, so you're incomplete. You're also a slightly bit imbalanced as well. Sorry about that again. I had to pause it. But what else I'm getting as well is that a lot of you planned on meeting these people when you before you came here. Like, these people are pivotal to your life, your role, what you've came here to do, and all that you've came here to accomplish. So they're gonna help you accomplish even greater heights, and vice versa. Maybe do the energy of networking, but I don't think so. I think they're gonna help remind you how strong you are, how capable you are, and I feel like you've been doing it a lot on your own, and you've made progress. But what Metatron is saying is that your progress would be significantly faster if they were in your life. All right, I had to pause it again, and I took a cough drop. My mom had sent me them earlier today, and I was like, I don't need them. Yeah, I totally needed it. Anyway, but what they were saying is that your progress towards your goals would be significantly faster if you had these individuals in your life. And they're special connections, the ones that you would feel um significantly different with than before. Some of you, for those of you that don't have many people in your life, you may not see a point to it, because you've never had what this connection can provide. You've never felt that in this life, but your heart knows. But again, there's been a detachment. So I feel like you need to connect yourself to the energy, to remind your heart, right? Oh, this is what I'm looking for. So your heart can start to lead you on that path. You're ready. And even though whatever has led you up to this point has led you up to this point, but you are now ready for that next step, the next chapter, there is a need for you to commit to this as well. Committing to I want to say breaking free out of whatever paradigm that you're in. And because they're saying it was a necessary part stage of your evolution. It's gonna take work though, and no matter what, to get through it. More work than what you've been currently putting into this. Okay. So what else do you have to say to Aquarius? This is strange. For those of you that have kids, or you have maybe pets, I just realized kids give me pets. All right. Hopefully, this is the last time I have to pause it. I'm gonna keep the cough drop in my mouth. It is what it is. Sorry, everyone. Um, for those of you that have kids, what Metatron and Kuan Yin and Saint Germain were saying, is that it's not enough stimulation. Like you need an actual stimulating conversation, something that's actually going to there's equal exchange there. So it's important that you recognize this need that's within you to socialize with people that you find stimulating, and it feels like you just aren't connecting to the energy because you don't want to. And I'm not sure what's driving that. Let's see if they have to say anything about that. What's driving this reluctance to connect to other people or other people that are on the same page as Aquarius? Fear. One of the things that they're talking about the most happens to be your past experiences. And it's actually what I brought up a little bit. And it's partially, for one, your past experiences have never really reaped the kind of rewards you were hoping for. Right. So there could be a subconscious belief system, but I think it was really discouraging, right? You try and you try and you try and you never got what you wanted, right? You were looking for something, but you couldn't find it in the people that were around you. So it kind of feels like you've kind of shut this part of you off. Um, there's fear and discouragement. That seems to be the bigger ones. Let's see, is there anything else that's here that's blocking them from finding these connections or wanting the connection? There is it's like apprehension to bringing in more chaos. And although we all understand that chaos comes all that potential, right? We all get that. We all understand that, and we all appreciate that. Right, that chaos brings in the growth that we need to strive for higher heights. We all know that that's how it works, but in reality, the experience of chaos and the benefits of chaos, um we tend to not want it, right? Even though the benefits are so great, the chaos that we have to go through to get those benefits, it's really annoying. There is a like a little bit of like I don't want to it's like they're saying like poking a beehive. You got, why would you do it kind of thing. But because your soul needs this, you need this, your goals need this, right? So there's so much need for this, the need, right, of this, the benefits of this outweigh the chaos 10 to 1. But you don't even want to deal with that little bit of chaos that may come in as a result of that, and that's the problem, right? And though it is to a certain degree understandable, but you need to understand the cost, right? And the cost is quite severe. And again, it's something about your goals and your aspirations. There's something that you want for yourself, and you can't get it without these connections. It's not that they're gonna provide opportunities for you. More likely than not, they're gonna draw out your strengths, strengths that you would have never known were there. And with them drawing out, you'll be able to use those strengths to further your goals, and vice versa, or even their advice and guidance. For instance, I don't know, right? But a lot of you is probably going to be strengths. Again, these people you wanted to meet and actually probably decided to meet before you came here, right? So it's for your highest good. All right. Is there any guidance that you have for Aquarius? And again, I'm sorry I kept pausing it, but the cough. Let's see. Is there any other guidance that you have for Aquarius? Um, they want to maybe talk about how you can go about finding these people. That's actually kind of where they want to do it with. See, how can Aquarius find these people? How can Aquarius know these people? They're saying when you meet them, you're gonna know. It's that feeling. that when you look them in the eye, you're gonna see it. This is obviously in the soul agreement, right? A soul agreement that we have. We can see it in the eyes, so you just know. You just look at someone in the eye, like, oh my god, I like they like what is that, right? They're saying that you're gonna know that when you right when you look them in the eyes, you'll see it. And these people, and again, I told you there were people you've met already, or not? No, sorry, people you wanted to meet. And the soul agreements are these are preordained, right? So that's what they're saying. You'll just see them in the eye. You need to be open to it. That's I think that's probably the best thing that you can possibly do is setting the intention that you want to meet these people. I don't know if you've been receiving this messages as already in your current day-to-day life, where you just get this feeling like I need to do this. But they're saying it's been there. Listen, I suppose, right? Is it one of your good one of your guidances? But again, they're saying to set the intention that you want to open yourself up to these connections. Let's see. Is there anything else that's here for that for their guidance, Aquarius? For Aquarius's guidance, Minister and Aquarius Saint Germain. This is not gonna be for all of you, but some of you there could be bitterness, some annoyance, right, to do with past situations and past people that you haven't fully let go of or healed. Learning to heal that would be really helpful for you because there is a little bit of apprehension there with your past experiences when it came to wanting something from someone, but they couldn't give it. They weren't able to give you what you wanted, but I don't think that you were taking it that way, nor have you forgiven them for not being able to be what you were looking for. You were looking for something, and that's great. You actually knew what you wanted, but you wanted it from people who couldn't give it. So there is a bit of like resentment, frustration there that needs to be released. That's going to help you be less resistant to meeting these new people. And I see one person who is close, like they're so close, and then another one that's not too far off, and then a third person in like 2 years from now. But they're saying that these people are they're lining up for you um to meet, but there is some resistance there. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it there, Aquarius. I want to thank you for being here. Please don't forget to like and comment, and don't forget to check out your entire chart, your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus, and your north node, and check out my services as well. And take care. Bye, Aquarius. Hi, Pisces. Welcome to my channel. My name is Edgar Mendez, and I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for sharing time and space with me. I want to remind you, if you didn't catch the intro, I am sick, so yeah. But I'm okay. I'm okay. I want to remind you as well to not forget to like and comment my video, as well as watch your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus, especially the North Node. Um, that view duration does wonders for me. So let's take a look here, and we're gonna be looking at April. April reading for you. Let's take a look for Pisces, Pisces, April, Pisces, April. Kuan Yin, Saint Germain, Metatron. What do you have to say? Hmm. Okay. So I definitely got connections coming through really strongly for you. Um it feels like there could be a past connection pulling on you. But it feels like very likely, more likely than not, I see your April being very similar to your March. It's interesting. They haven't really been prediction readings, but yours I think might be. Um but they are emphasizing that your March and your April are going to be almost the same. Your experiences are going to be almost the same, right? And it has to do with a connection. Some of you, this could be connections in your life that you need to let go of. Some of these, it could be a person you need to let go of. I don't know. It's hard to say, but I definitely feel like there's a pulling on you. In some ways, there's something on your heart that's pulling you towards these things. I don't know what that means, but I almost feel like there's like a rope or something like that's yanking on your heart. I know it sounds so strange, but I see it like pulling you here. Some of these could be loyalties. I don't know. It's hard to say. Um, Interesting. Okay, so what do you want to say about that? There is a need for you to break that rope, break that pattern. The first thing to do is to recognize that. A lot of yous, this is like friendships. That's I got it. Coworkers, maybe even some family members. It's hard to say, but specifically, this has to do with people in your life that are taking more than they're giving, and you feel like you should give to them, maybe because you were taught to, maybe because they were there for you for a while. I don't know, but essentially they are costing you dearly. And this is that question, and I know that because of how humans view things, almost all of it's wrong, but because of how humans view things, we look at us choosing ourselves as really selfish. This is false. It's false teaching. It's not selfish to choose yourself. In fact, all of us came here to choose ourselves if we wanted to, right? It's no point. We can do what we want. But there is like, I think there's a fear here, or a it's like you don't want to be a bad person. Fear, you think you're a bad person if you choose yourself. This is probably your Achilles heel. But I'm being honest with you, now that I see it, I think it's hard for you to say no. I think it's hard for you to have boundaries, and I think it's hard for you to choose yourself. I mean, this seems to, it's probably, you have these connections in your life. It isn't a coincidence, and it's in more ways than one, I suppose. But it's not a coincidence because you need to learn this, and it's about learning to not allow yourself to be. It's not walked all over. I don't see that per se. I definitely see someone who is giving too much to themselves to the point where there's not much left for you. I don't know how far you've made it in life, or and where you want to go, right? Versus where you want to go in life. But you're not going to get to where you want to go doing what you're doing when it comes to these connections. You do have to learn how to say no. You do have to learn how to put yourself first, and you do have to learn to not feel so guilty. And what Metatron brought up as a good example, let's say you have kids, and then you go and you take a vacation, and then on the vacation you feel so guilty about not taking your kids. It's like that. That's the energy that you have, and it's not necessarily kids related, though could be, I suppose. But there is a guilt factor here about choosing yourself, and you need to learn to do this, or you're not going to make much progress in your life. And they are emphasizing that, and it's not that this would have come to the forefront of your mind in the month of April, but if it does, if you learn to start to take baby steps on working on this, it's gonna do wonders for your life, right? In like a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, right? They're saying like it would do, it would be such a huge difference. And it's like they're saying, ponder this. That's what they said. Ponder that. Mm, juicy. All right. What else do you have to say for Pisces? What's interesting is they flipped it. They want to talk about the people now. These people are really selfish, and they would not do what you're doing to them. But there is a belief system within you that convinces you that you are good if you do this. Does that make sense? You're good. Um, but if good and bad are not real, what do we do about that, right? What does it matter to be good? But there is this, you have that belief system, but the people that you have, very selfish and would never do it for you. In fact, I think that it may be like pulling teeth to get these people to um show up for you, and even half the manner you do. It just like really strongly. It's what they're saying. Like even 30% is what they're saying, that you would be so, I would, it's like a shocking that they would show up that much, or even give you back that much. And what Metatron, Quang, and Saint Germain are saying about this is understanding that it is one-sided. Their lessons are not to learn to be more selfish, right? Their lessons are to learn something else, but they have lessons on their own. These people are taking advantage of you, and it's not until you actually put a stop to it will they then see that they've been taking advantage of you. And you do know they are taking advantage of you, right? I don't know, but they are. They really are. They're just, it's like there's so much waste that in terms of your energy and time that you're giving to these individuals, that you do need to kind of like stop, right? Let's see, what else do you have to say for Pisces? All right. One is although it's good, and you are obviously gonna need to um start putting up those boundaries and probably letting people go. Who knows? Follow your heart, obviously, but wherever that your heart leads you when it comes to, to how to handle this, there's also another factor. Um, I see the other factor being forgiveness. So a part of you, even though you're doing what you think is good, that's funny. You resent them, and you resent yourself, and you resent the entire process because you feel honor bound to that doing good. Does this make sense? So there's a bitterness that's just beneath your surface, and it's not going to go away until you forgive and release that. And they want to say like that's like there's so many there's layers to this lesson. And they're saying this is probably your bigger ones, right? The one of the bigger things that you wanted to conquer in this life is to learn to say no and put yourself first. Very difficult, by the way, because that journey to self-love is a long, hard fought one, isn't it? Right? It takes us so long because of how we're conditioned to just give all of ourselves, right? Because that's what you're supposed to do. What who came up with that, right? I don't know, but it's there is that bitterness though within yourself, because you're doing what you were taught or what you think is right, but it's poisoning you is what they're saying. It's like you've been taking poison over and over and over again, and until that's released, well, you're poisoned basically. So they really want you to emphasize. They want you to draw that poison out of the wound. Um, through forgiveness, release, purging as well. I see one thing they said that is something that could work is like writing down, like so let's say you put a name of a person and you say I did this for you, I did that, blah blah blah, right? You write all that stuff, how you feel about them, right? All of it. And then you burn it in a candle and you say I release this. That's what they said to me. It will be easy to do and it will draw it out. So your angels, your ancestors and guides, have them with you obviously when you do that, and then they'll draw out that energy from you. If you can see light like I can, it's like red energy because red is negative, and it just leaves you. So nice. It takes a it takes a while, right, to get all of it, right? But they will keep working at it. So I think it is worth it. It is definitely worth it. But they're saying that that will really work, or any other like release ritual that you have. But you do need to. They're saying that you do need to process it. Does it make sense? Um, you can't just like um known or unknown or seen or unseen. Like no, you first. It's coming from the heart. Your heart has to acknowledge that it is releasing these specific feelings, um memories. Yeah, feelings and memories, so that you can actually release it for good. Okay, beautiful. Is there anything else on this that you want to give for Pisces? Mm-mm. What else do you have for Pisces then? Minister and Quani Jimin. There is a reminder that there's better out there for yourself, way better out there for yourself. You're gonna attract what you need, not what you want, and that's what they're emphasizing this as well. Like the people you have around your life in your life, or were in your life that you're holding on to, they were necessary means to an end. They weren't. They were you attracted exactly what you needed when you needed it, and you're gonna keep doing that. So, and until you heal this, you're always gonna attract people who are gonna be selfish. Um, Self-centered, all about themselves. It's what you need though, isn't it? It's so interesting. They're saying you need it, so you keep attracting it, and until you stop and heal that, you won't stop attracting it. And they really want to make that clear to you. Sometimes we got to live that life. I've had people who I've had private readings with, and like I've had this issue for 5 years or 10 years, and it's like, well, yeah, it's a karmic cycle. What do you think? It's just you're gonna keep dealing with that, no matter. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how long it's been. It will be the same thing because you're in a karmic cycle, and I'm seeing that's what they're saying. So understanding that you won't stop attracting what you need, and until you need a healthy connection, you won't get it. So they're like, um do with that what you will. Do with that information what you will, because that's it. That's the truth of it. All right. So they want to just like, it's like they're kind of they just really want to make sure that that's understood there. Okay. Anything else that you have for Pisces? There is a need for you to not give up and have perseverance. I feel like some of you there's a part of you that likes to give up, and you kind of or not try, and you kind of keep indulging that. I don't know how to phrase this, but they said don't give up, and it's like because you do often is what they're saying. There is a part of you that tends to give up really easily. They're saying that working on that part of yourself or not engaging with that, it kind of some music could be a program. I don't know. They're not giving that, but there's a part of you that likes to give up and throw the towel in. There is a need for you to not give up. Um, what you want is out there, what you desire is out there, but it requires the path. It requires a completion of something as well. And the completion is the karmic cycle, the path, right? Is the lessons and all that stuff. So they're saying that it's there, it's ahead of you, but it's not where you are. And the only way to get there is to keep moving. I feel like, oh, I see what they're saying. There is a negative spiral inside of you that it's like it's like self-defeating. You experience something bad, and it makes you it makes you think that it's not. I don't know. It's like you just start to tell yourself it doesn't exist. Why should I bother trying? Why should I bother keep going? You know what I mean? Like it's something like that. That's the kind of spiral here. But they're saying it's engaging in that spiral doesn't help you. Keep going. You will get there. No matter how many of these lessons that you go through, understanding what they are teaching you will help you propel yourself forward. That's the point. And they're saying that what you want, that's what it says earlier, what you're seeking you. That's what they said. And not in like because of what we brought up earlier about you're gonna keep attracting the people you need. No, I meant like the good connections. Sorry, so you know, they gave a little chuckle because it was because of what we just brought up. It's funny. But they're referencing there's someone a really special connection. Connections. They're saying I see two, right? There's two connections, and they're on the same path that you're on, and you're gonna meet each other when you finally are ready for it, but not until then. So what you desire is desiring you, but until that, the paths have been completed, right? Yeah, you can't find each other, so it's kind of you're kind of stuck right now. Okay, so it's how long do you think this will take for them? For most of them, if they were to put their nose to the grind, they're saying under a year. Be quick, a quick process. But you have to release, you have to forgive, you have to learn, and that's it. If you ever, okay, sorry, I see what they're doing. They're moving to your guidance now. They have they want you to they want to help you see a lesson faster. So you know what I mean? Like you meet someone, what are they trying to teach me? They want you to be able to see it faster. So let's see what they have to say. What do you have to say to Pisces on how they can see a lesson faster, sooner? Okay, this has always been the case. I knew it was going to be the ancestor. They said an ancestor will be the one that helps you with this. You're going to call an ancestor in. Some of you, there is ancestral patterns. That's what they said. That the ancestor can help you see it because you can't. But the ancestor can also help illuminate. And I don't know how to explain this. It's like they're showing me like this dark room, and it's like there's it's it kind of reminds you like a video game. I think it was like Resident Evil, where you go into Resident like a room in a Resident Evil's game, and then there'll be a little shiny thing, and you just knew that was important. They're saying that an ancestor will, no matter how messy this room is, no matter how dark it is, the ancestor will illuminate something that you will know is important. So it may not be the lesson, it will be a piece of the lesson that will help you figure it out. So they're saying calling the ancestors to help you figure out your lessons faster, and they will guide you by giving you those little pieces. So you may have to put it together, obviously, right? That's always the case, by the way, for karmic cycles. But you have to put it all together. But they're saying that the ancestor will give you these little pieces, and boom, there you go. Very interesting. But yeah, just they said. So calling the ancestor and they'll give you that peace. All right. But I'm gonna leave it there, Pisces. I want to thank you for being here. Again, I'm so sorry I'm sick. And don't forget to like and comment and watch your entire chart that view duration. Yeah. And check out my services as well. And take care. Bye, Pisces.